Ladies and gentlemen, I am out of focus already. Oh my god, what kind of fucking B-rated production is this shit? There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am your host, Andrew Faubert, and I am back after a week's hiatus of being congested, which you might still kind of hear. Like I can only hit certain notes now. I can't sing properly. Now I can do like literal death metal regurgitation. It's awesome. Listen, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to fuck my voice up for the rest of the night. But you know what's not going to fuck up my voice for the rest of the night? Talking football, talking sports, talking about everything here since I missed a week. Week 4 football. We got week 3 that I missed. But we also apparently missed people like dying almost on the middle of the freaking field. We got contract negotiations. We got my Buccaneers not doing exactly what they're supposed to do. We got injuries literally everywhere across the league. So before we even get started on any of that, because I got a lot of people actually here to join me tonight, which is actually going to be a lot of fun. Since I'm back, I figured I'd bring in some of the peeps. Some from Canada, some from the States, different states. And we're going to bring them all together. It's going to be a hell of a night. So what I need you all to do couple quick things. Housekeeping in order to pay some of these bills, as people would say. Need you to like and share and follow the show. Because I need it. Like, please. I'm not gonna beg. But subscribing on YouTube, I beg of you, because if you do that, it's gonna help you get into the draw for the Mike Allstat mini helmet with the little JJ signature. Get that in there. 5 entries into the draw. And then also, it makes you get notifications when the show is going live. And especially when you see the little icon, it goes on and it says, Andrew's show is getting ready to go. That's just me in the background setting it all up and stuff like that. But you'll get to know what we're talking about first. And of course, if you follow the Facebook page, you get to see what we're liking, sharing, and following. All up on there. So, without further ado, since I'm so disoriented. I'm not used to this, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a week. It's been a while since I did a show. And I don't know what to do. It's been a while. I'm going to get copyright because I sound awesome. Thank you fucking very much. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking the fantasy football a little bit today since we got like 4 different opinions that we can have tonight. And also some of the money lines that are going on. So we're going to be talking about getting you guys some money. As you can see, there's my picks right there. A little bit of a sneaky peeky, which we'll get at. Those are my 5 locks. By the way, I'm 7 for 7 because I went 2 for 3 last weekend. But we're going to get it back. We're going to get it back. So without further ado, let me get into some little entries here because I got music for people. For like at least one. Actually, I think I only got entry music for one of these people. Sorry, so let's get him on here. Mr. SquidRip himself. Sydney Swinton. The way down in Arizona. Somewhere in Arizona. We don't say where exactly. I don't need Canadians trying to search for you and stuff like that. Not by your house, but anyway. Mr. SquidRip Card is also one of the hosts of many different things on Let's Talk Football sports platform. How are we doing tonight, my friend?
Good, man. How about yourself?
I'm still virus or whatever the hell I had. I kicked my ass. It's a good night. I guess not actually. But it's a good fun night, so I can stay like away from everybody. I can just bend bar and make a lot of money. Love it. Speaking of making money, before we start getting into all the money making and stuff like that, let's get a couple other people in here. My guy up here north of the border, good friend of mine, big Elks fan, loving this winning streak, are we not here? Mr. Dubsauce TV's own Firecliff Kingsbury. Look at the puppy.
Who the fuck is an Elks fan?
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. Rough Rider. Duh. See, this is how disorientated I am. I'm already calling my own guys out and stuff like that for being Elk fans. When they're Rough Rider fans, look at that puppy, though. Look at her. She's so cute.
Not having dinner, yeah. Not destroying anything. For
Not
what?
For what? Mr. Chris
that,
Woroschuk.
dead duck in the background, that the stuffing was all over the place like 2 days ago.
Oh, Jesus.
Playing with the fucking carcass.
You sound like you're in a bubble, by the way.
What's that?
You
sound like a robot.
Yeah, you sound like, hello, Tori.
Dorigato, Mr. Roboto. Oh my Dorigato.
So I should have been in the background actually doing like full on preparations for the show, but instead I was being mauled by my wife. Thanks, Kim.
I usually blame my wife when it's something.
I blame.
Too.
I know, right? And then so another gentleman that I'm bringing on tonight, good friend of mine, been here for a long time. You sound like shit on my. Oh, I see that in the private chat. Do I sound good? Sound
good to me?
Yeah.
Something's up with me. Interesting.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Let us know if you need anything, Chris. But we're going to get another guy in here. Another good friend of mine, south of the border. This guy's in Nevada. I'm not going to tell you guys where he's at. Oh, I said too much already. I'm sorry, buddy. But I actually didn't think he was going to be here. I didn't think he was going to be here till later on in the show. So it was good to get another opinion on how awesome my Buccaneers are. NFL Edition's very own Ben Cornett. How are we doing today, my friend?
Andrew, I'm doing good, man. And by the way, it's parts unknown Nevada. So
parts unknown
Nevada.
Does anybody live in Nevada that doesn't live in Vegas? I thought Vegas was like the only spot in Nevada.
You know, Henderson's getting bigger. You know?
So. Is that kind of like when people say Toronto is Canada?
Essentially, yeah.
I truly don't know any place else or where Toronto is in Canada. It's just up there somewhere.
Did you not get the picture my wife sent in the group chat for you?
Yeah,
and
the middle is Moose, and then the outsides are Toronto.
Oh my god. Well, Vancouver is the west. That's the far west, like basically our Los Angeles essentially. And then Toronto is kind of bang dab in the middle, and then there's nothing on the East Coast. Well, there won't be in about 2 days. Oh, bad joke. Sorry. Anyways, speaking of which, I know the bad joke, a really bad transition, but anybody in Florida who has been affected by Hurricane Ian, obviously, please reach out to NSD if you are in need of any support. I will be available to get some sort of support if there is any needed whatsoever. Obviously, with the Hurricane Ian going through, nothing good ever comes out of an Ian, first of all. Like, I think we can all agree with that. Sounds like just like the stupidest of names to call it a hurricane. But this hurricane has done a little bit of damage to a lot of our friends down south there in Florida. So our thoughts and prayers are obviously with you. And if you need anything, like I said, whatsoever, give us a message here at NSD and we will get you as much as we possibly can. Like, if you're really dying for maple syrup, I'll send maple syrup. Like, I'll do it. I don't care.
I need some. I'll take some.
You and Ash don't have to worry about it. You got your own Canadian care package coming and stuff like that. Ben already does too. Ben's is just a little bit different and more expensive, if you know what I'm saying, right? Exactly.
I have certain taste,
Exactly.
With the taste.
So speaking of certain taste, also bad joke. Tua tasted a lot of that grass last night. In what was one of the weirdest situations that NFL has had for a long time, in my opinion. So on Sunday, we all know that Tua Tagovailoa went down in that game with a lot of people thought was a head concussion. He's wobbling on the field, having his teammates kind of hold up onto him until some help came out onto the field, and he was pulled out, and he came back into the game to inevitably throw for 6 touchdowns and lead them to one of the best comebacks of all time. And then 4 days later, last night, he gets sacked by a guy with getting overshadowed here. The guy got his first ever sack too. Like, now it's good. Now it's, you're the dude that killed Tua. It's like, whoa, like, settle down here. But inevitably, Tua did go down right at the 50-yard line, essentially. And with what looked the worst part of the whole entire thing was the fingers. I think, me as a comedian, listen, I'm not going to start taking the shots right off the bat here. Like, give it a little bit of time.
I seen somebody take shots literally 5 minutes after it was bad.
Yeah, and listen, I want to be that bad of a comedian, but there comes a respect thing there too when it's someone's health. Will Smith's situation is different. That I was like instant. Like, tear him apart. But in this case, the hand gesture was the thing that made a lot of people scared. Is I'm at work and I'm showing a couple of people this who do not watch the sport at all. And even they're like, did he land on his hand? Like, did he break his finger? I'm like, no, that's the thing, is that's all because of the hit. And they're like, oh, that's not good. So then I told them the backstory and they're like, maybe someone didn't do their job properly. So what is going on? So in a whole group perspective, and anyone can kind of start here because this is basically what the whole show is too. And we are going to be throwing the StreamYard link down in a little bit here once we all kind of get ourselves situated and how we're all doing here. Because, like, listen, my voice is still like kind of like, so these guys are going to be doing a lot of the talking here too. Like, what happens now? Like, are the Dolphins getting sued? You can't take their draft pick away because it's already gone. So, like, what happens to the Dolphins here? Let's start with Sid. What do you think?
So this is tough. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of factors here. A lot of factors, because not only a lot of people are jumping down Miami's throat and the Dolphins for immediately playing him after that game, back in that game originally, and then playing again 4 days later. The thing is he was cleared by an independent neurologist on Sunday, not related to the team at all. So to me, it's on that guy. Like, I mean, what's Tua supposed to do, or what's the Mike McDaniel supposed to do? Okay, I'll address that in a minute too, because I have something to say about what Mike McDaniel should have done. But if the doc says, hey, he's good, he said it was a back problem earlier, we checked him for a concussion, he cleared concussion protocols, like, he's good, like he can play. Are they supposed to say, nah, you're wrong? Like, you can't. I mean, they're the doctor. The doctor said he's good, so yeah. It's hard for me to fault the coaches or Tua for going back in the game. But So I look at that, but then I think about like what Mike Tomlin did with Ryan Clark playing in Denver. So
that video
a lot of
actually
people
was out.
a lot of
today
people
too,
don't
yeah.
know Ryan Clark had sickle cell disease, and playing in high altitude is a danger to somebody that has sickle cell disease. So we had a playoff game in Denver. Ryan Clark was cleared by the doctor to play in Denver, but Mike Tomlin said, no, it's not worth your health. I'm going to hold you out in a play. I mean, that was a playoff game. He's our starting safety. And so that was like the factor that like Mike McDaniels saw what happened and could have said, okay, you may have cleared, but I'm going to keep you out. So, but to me, that's more of a judgment call than a, like, you're at fault for this. Because it has to be, I mean, you go through the chain of command, you go through the steps of what has to happen after he hits his head, and he cleared the protocol. So at that point, either the protocol needs to be changed or the head neurologist or the independent neurologist that gave him the exam needs to be looked at and could have possible trouble there.
The only joke I made about that was, I bet you the owner of the Dolphins and that neurologist, we're all part of the big old grand scheme of things to just assemble this whole grand team that he wanted there. Chris,
right.
What do you think there? Like, it's obviously a bad look and stuff like that too, but like, do you think there should be some sort of repercussions to the Dolphins here? Like,
so I don't know. Like, I truly want to believe that there was no like wrongdoing on the Dolphins end. Like, just like from a human being standpoint, like that, like Tua, like he's a great football player, whatever. All that aside, he's a person, and like this is his health we're talking about. So I truly want to believe that the Dolphins like, did everything right. Doctor said he was good. He says he's good. All right, we're putting him back in the game. But then you start thinking, well, these guys paid for losses, and or they rumored to pay for losses, and they pay, and they did. So, there was some tampering, and there was this, and it's just like all of a sudden, it's like, what could they have? Like, could they have done this? But on the other side of that coin, I think Mike McDaniel is a great coach. And I think he's 3 games into his head coaching career and didn't know what to do. Like, doctors say he's good. Again, Tua says he's good. What do, right? Do you bench the star quarterback in your 3rd game as a head coach? Like, I mean, maybe. Like, in hindsight, he probably goes, yeah, absolutely I do. Like, in the moment, he's like, well, like, I'm here to win a football game, and everybody says he's good. Like, I don't feel like that's, like, his decision, right? Like, he's not the one going, like, is he okay? He's okay. He's all right. He's all right. Like, he's overdoing coaching stuff. Doctors come to him. Nope, Tua can go. Okay. As long as Tua's good to go, then I don't like for him, he's got Tua saying he can go. He's got the doctor saying he can go. What, like, for him with 3 games of experience, there's not enough for him. I would think, like, now, like you said, Tomlin's been around for how long?
Yeah. Well, this was
right.
Early on, though. Ryan Clark has been retired for 6-7 years. It was early on in Mike Tomlin's career when he made that decision with Ryan Clark.
3 games? Like, you know what I mean? Like, not 3 games.
Oh, no, for sure.
Like, his first season, right?
I
guess what I'm trying to say. Like, this is, for McDaniels, it's like, this is his first year. He's still kind of figuring out how to be a head coach. And, maybe in the future, same situation. He probably tells the guy to go have a seat on the bench, have a beer. Like, you're done for the night, buddy. Like, hit the showers. But I don't fault him fully right now, just like I said, on an experience level. And I hope to God that the Dolphins didn't do anything wrong, they did everything right. And it's something maybe needs to change in the protocol, something maybe he didn't get a concussion on Sunday. But
losing you with the bubble thing there, just to let you know again too. But to your point, yes, that's something that I think a lot of people are not realizing with this whole situation is McDaniels is a brand new coach. This also is the Miami Dolphins. Like, this kind of goes into what Todd Bowles has said before, and Ben knows this as well. Like, Bruce Arians left a good situation for Todd Bowles in Tampa, so it wasn't the same as like the New York Jets situation, and it wasn't the same as some of these other situations. And the Miami Dolphins are a prestigious organization, whereas, yes, this brand new head coach comes in, maybe he's just like, yeah, what Chris has said. If the doctor's saying yep, and the quarterback is saying yep, I got 52 other players I got to think of, and I got, how many other coordinators I got to think of as well. So that's a really good point. Ben, with regards to you there, what do you think in this situation? Because it obviously was really hard to
Hey,
Look at that puppy.
She's barking at the screen, man. What are you doing?
She wants to be part of the show. Look
Yeah.
at her. To your
all
point
fucked
there,
up.
Ben,
Right.
or to you there,
Come here.
with what you saw in the game too, like it was obviously hard to watch that as well. So what is your take? Like, do you think the Dolphins should be, punished for this? Do you think this is Mike McDaniel's fault? And is Tua starting on Sunday?
Well, I think if you play it smart, he's not going near a football field next Sunday. You can't. It's hard to fault McDaniel. I mean, look, he's only in his third NFL game, coaching wise. It's tough. An independent doctor cleared him.
Mm-hmm.
In today's day and age, guys, with concussions being so vital, important to recognize and play it safe, he should have never been out there, in my opinion. Absolutely not. Because I listened to Colin Cowherd last night, and they're thinking about maybe doing, and it sounds silly, but like a wobble test. If a guy's getting up and he's wobbling no matter what, he should not be going back in the game.
Yep.
And I think you need to have, especially the quarterback position, because there's only 32 of those jobs in the league. That is the most important position in football.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to say that it's more important than it, and everyone's health is vital and important. But
Yep, 1,000%.
your quarterback is your key guy. If there's any signs of him not looking right, put Bridgewater or any backup quarterback in. It's not worth it. And especially, like I said, today's football, when they're talking vitally about, head injuries and stuff like that, you got to take the most important precautions. You can't risk it. So, again, I know he was cleared, but I think from this point forward, teams need to start, anytime you have a head injury to anybody,
mm-hmm.
you can't go back in. I'm sorry, you just can't. No matter, even if they're cleared, take the rest of the day off and then evaluate them during the week.
Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't make sense that he did go back into that game at all, in my opinion. Yeah, Sid, go ahead.
I was just I guess my question is who's supposed to make the call then? Like, who is it on to pull him? And if it is a back injury, because say somebody hurt their ankle and then they wobble, and then it's like you can't just take everybody out because they wobble one time too. I mean, I completely I think I agree. I think it was a head injury originally, but there's got to be some sort of protocol or something to follow to put it on, because anybody that's ever played a sport, if you're in the middle of the game, no matter how bad you get hurt, if you think you can get back in, you're going to do everything you can. So you can't put it on the player to pull themselves. So somebody has to be that guy, and the independent neurologist is supposed to be that guy, but they said he was good. So then at that point,
well, the final call does come back on the head coach, right? Like that at the
Yeah,
end of the day, the neurologist. So the independent, from what I understand anyway, is the neurologist is supposed to pull them if they get any type of signs of concussion like that, do their tests. But then at that point on, it's completely like a recommendation. Like whether or not they recommended he play or not is a whole other thing. But from what I understand, and maybe I could be out to lunch here. Like I don't know everything, but from what I understand, that is just it's at that point. If they go like, no, he passed the protocol, he passed our tests, everything looks good as far as our testing procedures go, then at that point, it's up to them to say like, hey, maybe he shouldn't go, maybe he can go. That call, they don't work for the team though, right? So they don't get to make team decisions. Like at the end of the day, they go, hey, he can't go in, he's got a concussion. Okay, done. That's all. That's it. Or he passed our tests.
Now
that's your decision now.
Now, in a weird way, like as one thing that I was just about to suggest, and then I even thought about it for a second. I'm like, that might actually cause a little bit more shit, because think of how when it comes to some of these plays now, like under 2 minutes, it becomes like a New York review. It becomes like an NFL review. It almost should be like that. It almost should be like an NFL representative, or like the NFL, almost like Roger Goodell himself is the person that clears them. But then I also thought about it too. If it becomes a playoff game and we're all thinking about, and I'm going to I'm just going to use Dallas here because this is a very easy one. It's 2026. Dallas is sitting there at the last game of the season. If they lose, they get the first overall pick, and Arch Manning is looking enticing, right? Like if some situation comes around and stuff like that, like you don't.
I just think,
you know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You go ahead.
I just think from a liability standpoint is the reason it's an independent neurologist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, because you're not gonna, because you're on the NFL payroll. Like, even if, like, regardless of like any like type of fixing games or anything like that, like the NFL, like Roger Goodell, like as great of a guy as I'm sure he is, would love to see every star player playing all the time.
Yep.
So if it, you know what I mean? So like if this person now works for Roger Goodell, Roger McSkull is like, hey, just so you know, if you don't put Tua back in this game, like you're fucking never gonna work in the NFL again. Like that's not how that's the point of the independent neurologists. They don't work for the NFL. They don't work for the Miami Dolphins. They don't work for the Buffalo Bills. They are solely there for the players' sake to see if they're okay. And then at that point, like I said, it's a recommendation.
Fauci. Right? It's we need Fauci. It needs to be Fauci. that is it. I'm just going to get to a couple comments here, just so we can get caught up on everyone, because I see that your wife is mad at me already for using Dallas as a...
as soon as you said it, I knew it.
I know. Kate Alverson is the first one to pop in, and then Ash says, damn it, Kate, beat me. And then she says, I am sorry, Ash. Ash also says, Andrew sounds okay. It's weird when Sid first got on, but good now. I think, Chris is fine now, too. So, Reno. Duh. Henderson is basically Vegas. Is it?
It's kind of connected.
I mean, Ben would know.
It is. Okay, I'll put it this way. I'm maybe about half a mile from Henderson.
Oh, so it's St. Albert.
Like, St. Albert.
Yeah, it's like St. Albert. Yeah, it's like you can throw a stone at it, but you're in a different city. Yeah.
Yeah. It's across a highway, essentially.
You're all right.
Right.
Kate Alverson says, Toronto isn't far from me. No, actually, if you cross the bridge around Detroit, you're basically in Windsor, which is, a lot of people say that's essentially Toronto. Like, all those cities around Toronto are essentially just Toronto. So
Canada is Toronto. That makes sense.
No. See, and that's the false narrative that we're trying to get away here, because there's too many Maple Leaf fans that leave Canada and put that perception in everyone's head, except the Jamaicans. They know it's the Oilers.
There's just too many Maple Leaf fans, period. And
I also agreed. I'm just saying, Chris, if you ever want to like just go hang out with some awesome people and just talk Oilers in the middle of a beach, the Jamaicans just adore the Oilers. Like, that is literally their team. It's on the vans, like, almost everywhere.
Sounds like you're inviting me to go to Jamaica with you.
Well, when I do get married, I do want to go, like, on a boys' trip to Jamaica. Like, that would be awesome. And I'm waiting for you. There it is. There, she pops her head out. Now she's mad. I know you've never been. We're going, but not
without you.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Ash says, bougie people only say they're Henderson because they don't want to be associated with the Vegas trash. And I'm looking at you, LV. But Ash, Ben is literally here, and now you were insulting my guests, Ash. Like,
I think she's talking about herself. She's from Vegas. She's from Vegas.
Oh.
She lived in Vegas for.
I was like, I thought she hated Slipknot because that's where she's from.
We didn't. I don't think Ben had said where he was from when she made that comment, because I was reading. She lived in Vegas for 8 years. She was just talking about Vegas.
Hender Vegas. That's what I call it.
Venderson. Brooks George, thank you for tuning in tonight. Says, is it true he had similar events at Bama with regards to Tua? If I'm not mistaken,
he's had some injuries. He's had some injuries in Alabama.
And wasn't there? Okay, was it just bad play for the playoff game or the championship game where he threw in Jalen Hurts, or was that actual injury?
Okay, so Jalen Hurts was struggling in that game. Basically, so Nick Saban made the call, okay, I'm going to switch it up, go with Tua, and then he had a great second half, and that was that. And then Jalen went to Oklahoma. And then
that's what it was. Okay, I had that mixed up. I thought it was the other way around. And now look at Jalen Hurts. It's probably the better of all the Alabama quarterbacks, arguably. Ash says, with such a short turnaround, and he shouldn't have been played. Concussion symptoms are complicated, and seeing how he went down the week before, a judgment call could have been made. A call should have been made to hold out. I agree. I got a new job, and there's a couple of young guys there who you're like, what is CTE? Like, I hear it talked about and stuff, and I kind of told them, like, what it is and like what has kind of happened and stuff like that with some of these people. They're like, oh, that kind of actually makes sense. Like, yeah, like if their head gets abused all the time. And then like one guy finally, he made the one question. He's like, wait, so that means the NHL was involved in that lawsuit too, right? And I go, yep. And they're like, how much money did they pay? And I'm like, none. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because the NHL still won't admit that it's true. And they're like, oh. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Well, they admit that it's true, but in weird wording. So.
And hockey, I'm still here to the camera. Hockey has, I would say, less blows to the head, but still, like, they should admit that concussions exist.
Yeah. Yeah, when you see some of the players that have retired, even like some of the goons and like the head trauma.
Did you see that hit the other night on?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God. From what's his name from Anaheim? It's on the cover of NHL.
Yes, on Zegras there.
Zegras, yeah. I was like, oh, my God.
See, and this would have been a perfect time for me to have my new logo up for the hockey show that I got coming up here on 1252 Sports. So actually, shout out to 1252 Sports. Not next week, but probably the week after because I'm still on nights. We got the I gotta remember the damn show name. I got too many shows going on, and I'm trying to build a couple more here. Give me 1 second. The One Timer Hockey Podcast. There we go. There we go. Sit there. Boom. Dun, 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 dun. So me and a guy named Matt Hughes from Chicago are going to be talking hockey. They got a big, gathering of Chicago Blackhawk fans, and me being the Red Wing fan and a supporter kind of up here for the Oilers because they really are like, if you give us 2 firsts and 2 seconds and say Dylan McLeod and some prospect and maybe Holloway, we'll give you Patrick Kane. And I'm like, just do it.
We have $167 in cap space. The Oilers have $167 in cap space. They can't afford a ticket to their own games.
Which hold on. Before we can, we're not going to stop this. This is a very organic conversation we're having tonight. But this is a Golden Knights fan that we have also below. We also have a Golden Knights fan in the other room there. Yeah. And then Sid here lives in Arizona. So I just call him the Coyotes fan.
Sure.
Even though his wife kind of acts like a Maple Leaf fan, in my opinion, because she's a Cowboys fan and she likes the Yankees. And I'm like, you might as well just finish the trifecta and just be a Leafs fan then. So go ahead,
I was going to say real quick, isn't McDavid supposed to get like 165 million of that, of the 167 in the cap space?
He should. He's him and Dry. Honestly, like there's only a couple of players in the NHL that I've said hands down should get paid like absolute top dollar, like $20 million per year.
It's not a coincidence that Nathan McKinnon's contract's exactly $100,000 more than McDavid's. It's not at all a coincidence that contract was exactly $100,000 more.
Yeah. But I mean, after this season, the next Connor comes in, and when he eventually gets paid, he'll probably be the highest paid in the NHL. So give it about 4 years, and there'll be another Connor that's.
What do you mean in 4 years? Connor's contract's up, bro. McDavid's contract's up.
And that means that Toronto will literally break the bank to get McDavid in there. Yes.
I already read 3 articles this week about that. They're like, we got a plan to sign McDavid. I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. He's not going there. He's not going there.
I agree.
Stop talking.
Yeah, all I got to say is 2004. That's it, as far as the Maple Leafs go.
Oh, we signed everyone. We looked so good, and it didn't do shit. And then Sid's just sitting there like, hockey.
I think Connor McDavid's from Arizona. That's all I got.
He's not even close.
Austin
Matthews is from Arizona.
I know somebody big in hockey is from Arizona. That's all I got.
Everyone jokes that Austin Matthews should go to Arizona because it would make hockey better.
Hey, I didn't know you were from Arizona. I can get you to drive down to the stadium and beat up Cliff Kingsbury for me.
I'll be at the Monday night game for the Patriots.
Sounds good. If he still has a job by then, do me a favor and beat the shit out of him. Hopefully by then he doesn't have a job anymore.
Okay, wait, hold on. I want to get a couple of more comments, and then I actually want to bring this up here. Dolphins aren't as good with Tua, but in excellent hands with Teddy.
You know what? Teddy didn't play bad. Teddy never
does play bad.
Yeah, that like the pick at the end like was detrimental to me losing $100. But I mean,
you had Dolphins +5, didn't you? Or +4?
No, I had with a guy at work. I had $40 for the Dolphins at 3.5. And
Oh,
I
okay.
had on Sports Interaction, I had same thing. I had like another
Yeah.
$60 with that 3.5.
Yeah, I was a little mad when I
Tua
got
threw a
off.
couple
of
picks
break.
too, though. So
Yeah, just the one at the end really did it. I just needed a field goal there. Field goal there plus 3.5. I'm good. I'm making
There you
money.
go.
I just needed a field goal there. Nope, that pick. Now it's done. That's gone.
If need be, he also said, anyone with eyeballs could see he did not have a back injury last week. True. Sean Spencer said, what's going on, gentlemen? Sean Spencer being the lead captain of the Let's Talk Football platform. Go check out all of the different shows that they got going up there. Also, 49.9% owner of it because Janae owns 50.1, and I'll always stick to it. I don't care what he says. So yeah. But yeah, give them a like, give them a share, give them a follow. Sean Spencer, Janae Strother, the Swintons, Delilah, Nick, my co-host for the NFC South show, Kyle Yacey, Nicole. I'm missing somebody else. Kate Alverson doing the show, Alex doing the show
Mr.
for
Fingers.
Mr. Fingers as well. Thank you very much. And I hope I'm not missing anybody else. Will Kramer, shout out to you. Also, stay safe, Will Kramer. I heard that in the group chat today, so stay safe. Jared Martin, my boy from back home in Thunder Bay, Ontario, says so mangled. He did not like that Tua situation either. Brooks says agreed. Ash, it was neglectful to Tua's overall health by McDaniel and the whole Dolphins organization. I don't care how long you've coached. You've been involved in the NFL long enough and can see he was not okay. Whereas I think we all kind of agree with that, but I also will throw in there, it's the Miami Dolphins like franchise. That owner may be suspended and told not to be around there, but you know he's on the phone being like, you listen, put him in the fucking game.
Another thing on that though, if you think like the whoever like makes that call, like, hey, listen, we're gonna pretend this is a back injury, even though everybody and their mom saw this, has to have the biggest pair of steel cojones to like just make that decision. You know what I mean? Like, I have a hard time believing somebody was like, listen, we're gonna do this in light of the whole world that just saw that video.
Yep.
Like, it's just, I mean, I really think he said he had a back injury. An independent neurologist, he passed a concussion test. Multiple players have said they can pass concussion tests with a concussion. That's, I think, the biggest issue personally. The more I've thought about this throughout the day and everything, I just have a hard time believing somebody was like, you know, we all saw him wobble, but we're going to lie to America, especially after what they just went through in the offseason. Like, it's hard for me to put it on McDaniel or the Dolphins or anything like that. Plus, the other thing, people saying McDaniel should have pulled him or whatnot. McDaniels is like coaching a game. Like, he's in the game. He's not worried. He doesn't know what's going on with Tua right now. They bring Tua back out, and the doctor's like, hey, he passed concussion. It was a back injury. Mike McDaniel's like, hell yeah, get back out there. Like, it's hard for me to put it.
And said real quick, I mean, just like the athlete, they're always going to tell you, oh, I'm fine.
100%.
Yep.
100%. So he might have told McDaniel, hey, I'm good, man.
But Mike McDaniels isn't like watching the replay 100 times, like knowing that he wobbled and seeing Twitter, everybody blowing up that Tua's done. Like, he doesn't know any of that. Like, he's just like, oh, he's good, sweet, send him back out there.
Yeah, and that was kind of like same as my point earlier. I was like, you know, like he's not standing over the doctor's shoulder, like wondering what's going on. Like, he's still got to call plays and send guys out and whatever have you. Like, he's got other things to do. Somebody tapped him on the shoulder, said, hey, he's good. I'm like, okay.
And
like, that's my guy. Like, get the fuck out there, right?
And this is also not the 1980s, like 1970s, where like we've seen some of the hits that like Joe Montana and some of those guys took. And you're like, you go back and like, I think I'm trying to remember if it was 84 or 85. It was the 49ers. And I think it was like week 16. And Joe like went out to the right side, took this stupid hit. And even I'm like looking around for flags and I'm like, oh yeah, 80s football, duh. And you look at him, it was like the next player, the play after, he just fumbled the ball, like right from the snap. And you were like, and if that happened right now, Joe Montana would have been pulled, like concussion, like, dude, his neck is going to snap at this point. You know what I mean? And so that's where we know that football has definitely come a long way now. When, say, like Jared here, should have never been cleared. There's a lot of people on social media now who are watching these football games, and everyone with two eyes saw that guy should have never been cleared last week and should definitely not have been playing this game for that type of injury to happen. The guy, Brooks also says give the dude the whole season to get his head right. Also agree. They also need to stop this play on Sunday, then Thursday. Football is brutal. It does suck because the NFL is just trying to grab as much of the attention out there as possible. Exactly. It's the money, and they know it. Like, the only thing, and I think all of us can agree with this, me and Chris have kind of joked about this before, the only thing that the NFL does not do that would draw attention from its sports fans like us is the Pro Bowl. And then what do they go and do a week ago? They say, fuck it, skills competition, flag football. Now I'm like, you're damn right, they're going to watch that Pro Bowl. I want to see all those guys go at the skills competition. I want to see Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes if they're not, I guess they wouldn't be playing each other in the Super Bowl, but one of them will probably be there. And I want to see one of those guys throw a literal whole distance of the football field. Your dog, by the way, is the most adorable thing I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just.
She's great when she's sleeping.
A couple more comments, then we're going to move on here. So T. Higgins got demolished twice now. Second time, I'm not sure he ever went into concussion protocol, but he didn't go back out and play. That is also true. Same with, there's a couple other players that this was kind of happening over the weekend, and they were getting pulled, whether it was big names or not. I think Jordan Whitehead was another name. But that's just we know that name, right, Ben? There's a guy that should have been still on the Buccaneers, but he wanted way too much money. Andrew, don't use Dallas. As coach, I'd lose 2 to 3 to make sure my starter is strong and healthy enough for a playoff run. I also agree with that. The other thing, too, is this is what I think. If the owner had his own first overall pick, he'd be like, don't throw him back in there, lose as many games as you want, because the closer I can get to replacing Tua, the better. But now that he doesn't have his own first overall pick, he's like, I need him in there. Put him in there and make him play. And right there could be another big thing, even though the owner can't be around the actual stadium or its players right now. So tank for Arch, even though I think the Buccaneers are probably going to be in that situation here. I love Squid. Do work, son. Yes, sir. I lived in Vegas for 7 years. 7 years. Jesus. Hello, gentlemen. Teresa Baxter, thanks for tuning in. Can't wait for Red Wings hockey. I cannot wait for hockey. Even though, like, the Red Wings is just going to be nice to see the development of the young guys, and the 6'8" Soderblom coming in and just annihilating people is going to be awesome. But I still think we're going to be in the whole little possible hunt for Connor Bedard. So I'm not getting my hopes up. Just I like the Knights. So, okay, great. There you go, babe.
Awesome. See?
More Knight fans.
Yep.
I like the Kraken, though, too. Kraken are awesome. Or will be awesome. I don't like the Lakers, so at least there's that one. That's fair.
I do, but
I was gonna say he's got the Lakers champ thing right over that shoulder there too. So
not much to brag about these days. But.
Well, thank God. You got it, Foobs, with regards to the Janae comment. Remember Brian Flores said this organization is fucked up. That is very true. There's a lot of things going on there. I'm in Minnesota fan. Give me Teddy over Cousins all day. Cousins is like Murray paid way too much than they're worth. I'm going to use this comment in this section, even though I wanted to get to this one. What a cute dog. Like my fiance's tuned in to watch the dog.
Just mentions the dog.
Yeah, and then she's like, ooh, what dog? I think I face off against Foobs this week. Oh? What? I'm not fighting Teresa, dude. Like, I ain't going at Teresa. Hey guys, Tua should not have been out there Sunday, especially not Thursday, because it was just 4 days. You're damn right, Christopher Cole. The NFL has taken the first step to bring flag football to the league, which I am all for, because around 2026, 2027, when the whole Arch Manning situation goes down, there is another guy out there. I can never pronounce his name properly, but he's that really good flag football quarterback right now that is transitioning into the NFL or into college football, and he is going to Clemson. So it's going to be like really cool in a couple of years to see like Clemson, Alabama, and Texas, and all these other teams going at it. So this comment though, where'd it go? The Cousins is like Murray, paid way too much rather than they're worth. So I kind of wanted to transition that comment into a little bit of what Minnesota is going on with, but also with Arizona, because obviously Chris wants Cliff to be fired. And with
out of a cannon, not just a regular fighter. Out of a cannon.
Now, is it because of just like everything that's going on? Like, do you think
no, it's because he's worthless. No, seriously, no. Like if you've watched 5 minutes of any of the first 3 games, the guy has no game plan. And to that comment about Murray, I think that's absolutely ridiculous because the only time the Cardinals have looked good is when Murray is scrambling and improvising on his own. Every play Cliff calls doesn't make any fucking sense or falls apart immediately. The route tree for fucking Marquise Brown last week was ridiculous. He was like in like this corner of the field the entire part of the game. Like no deep routes for a guy that fast. Like he was literally just right here, like running around in a circle. If you look at the tree, it's insane. He like there's the for an offensive guru, he can't score a fucking touchdown. Like it does. It makes.
So I take it you're Team Kyler, not Team Cliff.
No, yeah, I'm Team Kyler. I still think Kyler's an incredible quarterback. I think he's a great athlete. I think with the right coach, I think he would do great things. I do think he's a good quarterback, and I think he's worth every penny he was paid.
I'm gonna piggyback back off you, dude. Cliff Kingsbury, look, he was hired because it was the trend. You know, with Sean McVay being the young,
they were trying to exactly
offensive coach.
Yes, sir.
You know, like that's the trend.
But he's an idiot.
Cliff Kingsbury, what did he do in college at Texas Tech? Nothing. I mean, it's like Andrew.
Not a fucking thing.
Remember,
he developed one good quarterback if I recall.
Oh man, hold on. Listen,
I'm sorry, but
don't be bringing up Greg Schiano days to me. Like
Cliff Kingsbury, dude. I'm putting him in that category.
Oh
mediocre
wow!
College football coaches getting NFL jobs.
I think he developed one quarterback pretty well, if I do recall.
Schiano?
Cliff Kingsbury. He had this guy named Patrick Mahomes play for him at college.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and he still fell apart in the second half of the season.
But again, Texas Tech. You know, it's so
he literally has a history of falling apart in the second half of the season. Like going back to Texas Tech.
Is that Kyler?
No, because even in college he did that. There's the stat last year, first half of the season, Texas Tech was like fucking 12-3 in like the years he was there. Second half of the season, they were like 0-9. It was ridiculous. Like it was like that trend goes back to him in college.
College, your schedule gets tougher as you go on because you start to play.
Obviously, no, but still, like you can't. That literally like just transpired into last year. We started 10-2 and finished 11-6.
100%.
Like it's
but I think Kyler needs some of the blame.
Well, Kyler was hurt. Kyler was hurt.
As good as everybody else does.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Kyler's to blame.
True.
Like
I don't think he makes good reads. I mean, you're right. He does great when he plays backyard football and runs around and waits till somebody gets open and hits them. But when it's like a drop back pass or he needs to read a defense, I think that's more on Kyler, and he doesn't do as well as he should.
And why do you think they put that thing in his contract before they took
they did it for a reason?
Though that whole that COD thing, like I watched somebody who's like more of like a COD guy, but also like a football fan, because I'm starting to transition into the whole Warzone thing, which I was actually going to tell Chris in the background there. I found a guy that like plays COD or whatever that literally reminds me of Chris. Like I was like watching him play with like Dr. Disrespect and a couple of people today, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere they just start talking football, and I was like, well, this is fucking awesome. There we go. But there's a kid that was talking about it too, shit, sorry, I lost it just because I saw the group chat going there. Basically about the shit. What were you saying, Ben? There,
Oh, was Schiano?
Yeah, no, that was shit. Sorry, I lost it because a couple of things. No, a couple of things popped up. Anyway, but I'll think of it anyway. Chris, I'm gonna have to send you the link of that person I'm talking about too. You'll know who I'm talking about.
I was just gonna say one thing to kind of cap that off, because we're talking about Murray and his reads and everything like that. Again, like I'm not happy with Cliff Kingsbury. However, I do think still that is partly on coaching and the game plan, because last year, and they even fucking said this before he got hurt, the whole offense was designed around DeAndre Hopkins playing deep balls and then drawing a double team so somebody's open in the middle of the field, and if he doesn't, they throw it up. They either get a pass interference or Hopkins just does what he does and comes down with the ball. Mm-hmm. As soon as Hopkins went down, we had no offense. We had nothing.
And then he's not played.
If the offensive game plan and the offensive plays are designed for like literally one wide receiver, it's designed around one wide receiver, and you don't have that wide receiver, like you as a coach need to adapt, and Cliff hasn't at all. He tried to just make Marquise Brown the same player, but we have no depth. Like we're trying to throw the ball to Andy Isabella. The guy's got fucking bricks for hands.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
you're
like-
not an Isabella
Like
fan.
I
know.
act like the Bills coach whenever I see Isabella try to do anything. I just start smashing shit. I'm like, fucking get this guy out of here, man. I don't care if he's from Arizona. He's terrible.
Yeah, that's the comment. I found the comment. What I was going to say is when COD hits double XP or something like that. So the guy made a video and showed like the whole Kyler Murray's passing going down in games and stuff like that, and some of the highlights of the plays that he was doing in games. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but like I've also gone back and looked at some of the games. Like he does some good highlights, but I can understand maybe why the Cardinals organization put that in the clause. But you know for a fact that Arizona was the one that released it. They're like, just let everybody know Warzone 2 is coming out here pretty soon, and you Cardinals fans.
The other thing, one thing that's always baffled me about like with the Cardinals offense as a whole with Kyler Murray is they never, and I mean never, have tried to bootleg him whatsoever to get him out and get him moving around. Like he sits in the pocket. When he runs, he scrambles. He's not on a bootleg. He's a small quarterback, man. Like he needs to be able to move around. He probably can't see over the O-line. Everybody makes that joke, but it's true. He probably can't see over the fucking O-line. Look at Russell Wilson in Seattle, bootlegs. Look at Drew Brees, even fucking rolled out half the time. This guy never runs a bootleg ever. He just fucking drops back. He's right under center, drops back. That's it.
They should almost at that point.
Or we call 75 screenplays as if they're not going to see it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To your point there, actually, I like that because maybe if they ran, say, in a weird way, like the pistol formation a little bit more, where they could allow him to already have his feet in that motion with a running back, and he could also kind of see how many players are on one side of the field, and he would already know how many are on the other. So I like that.
There's just a lot of things about the coaching staff. Even Vance Joseph, like he's got to go too. Take Cliff with you. Go. See you later.
Go to Cliff's house. Go in that nice multi-million-dollar house and just
light
live
it
there.
on fire. Oh wait, no shit.
Christopher Cole says we're running on a generator power at the moment. It could be a lot worse though. We should get power back around midnight tonight or tomorrow. Christopher Cole, the fact that you are tuning in to this show while running a generator down in Florida, dude, much appreciation to you. Your package is coming on next Friday, just to let you know, because it's going to be sent along with Sid's freaking wife's package that she won. So out of the 2 jersey giveaways that we've had on this platform, Ash has won both of them. So Ash, the first one we did on the first day, she got the guess right, and I should have maybe split that guess in half, or my hint in half. Maybe it lasted a couple more weeks. This one, though, I actually did my research, and I'm like, I'm going to make sure all my hints are good. Still wasn't good enough because you got this guy and her being like, all right, let's take all these hints and let's go to Wikipedia and start eliminating all these players and stuff. And he sends me a list of all the other players it could have been. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. So congratulations. You have that on the way next Friday. And of course, everybody, remember, you can still win the Mike Allstott mini helmet as long as you like and share and follow. North Sports Dynasty gets you a entry into it. Everybody that you see on the screen here has a chance to win it because they're all subscribed. Or if they're not subscribed, they're at least liking and followed and shared at least one of these videos in the last couple of months. So they're already on the list of people that are going to be getting a chance at the end of the season. And by the way, there is more. There's going to be a lot more giveaways happening at the end of the season when the Buccaneers are eventually eliminated and we have the whole Super Bowl party, because that's when we got eliminated. Don't you laugh at me. Don't you laugh. You think my Buccaneers are done? They're not done.
you just said they were done.
I mean, kind of, yeah. They're going to get eliminated pretty early. I'm not liking the way that they're looking unless everybody starts getting healthy. Nonetheless, I am having a big old Super Bowl party here this year. And so everybody's invited. So like Sid, get your passport. You and Ash can fly down and we can have the Super Bowl party here. Though, wait, the Super Bowl is in Arizona, right?
It is.
Yep.
So if anything, we should all be coming down to you, but I'm not going to be able to get my passport.
And next year it's in Vegas.
Oh.
And the reason why it's in Vegas is because New Orleans, it was supposed to be New Orleans, but because of the Mardi Gras when it was scheduled, so they moved New Orleans back to like 2025 or something. So Vegas got the next one.
But we all know that the real thing we're waiting for is Detroit 2024. Woo! That's gonna be fun. That's the one I'm waiting
blast.
for. I already told everybody at work too, and I was like, listen, as of next year, like once it's all started up, I'm fucking like, work, dude, because I'm taking my 2 weeks and I'm gone to Detroit. Buying an RV and I'm gone to Detroit. That's gonna be a fun time. Draft coverage and everything. Basically, it's not even a vacation for me. I'm just gonna bring the wife and be like, have fun. You and Ash and Kate and everybody can go have fun. Me and everybody else are gonna sit here and try to get interviews with everybody else. Like maybe not Arch Manning or anything like that, but all the other quarterbacks that Alex is going to be hoping will bless his Detroit Lions that year, like Caleb Williams or something
I just want to have a beer with Dan Campbell.
Wouldn't
like I just want to sit down and have a drink with that guy. I don't even care about pictures, interview. I just want to be like, hey man, how's it going?
You know
like,
what?
The guy fires me up, man. Like he really does.
Hard Knocks was awesome.
Can you imagine? Like
Probably
we're
the best
all.
one. Yeah.
That was a really good. I'm not gonna lie. I did like the one with the Buccaneers when Riley Below was still there, and I really was hoping he was gonna be part of like the Buccaneers. But yeah, I would think it'd be cool because like we're Canadian, or at least I'm Canadian. Me and Chris Canadian. I'd be a little bit of like a culture shock to be like in Detroit, like we're just in, like on a rooftop bar or something like that. The draft has just happened, or like the night before the draft, and we're all just chilling there, and we got like our cell phones out, maybe just doing a show, and then I know where it'd be like. Hey, I heard you Canadians here. You guys kick ass, man. And I was really hoping, like, yeah, where's this Chris? You want a beer, man? I'll run through a fucking wall for you, man.
That's spot on. That is fucking spot on, man.
So yeah, I'm with you. I would love nothing more like when Detroit.
It's almost as good as Ty on Pat McAfee's show impression of him. Ty Schmidt's, yeah, his impression of MCDC is hilarious.
It is.
I love Ty because it's not because what's the word I'm looking for? It was not iconic. I mean, it was iconic too, but it was fresh. Like it just happened. His reaction when the Jordan Love draft happened, and he's like,
dude.
God damn it.
The one guy that's going to piss Rodgers off. Yeah. I love the toxic table.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. Quick little commercial here, everybody. I'm going to get everybody here a little bit of water since we've been talking for about an hour. So do a quick little commercial of Let's Talk Football and myself here just to give everybody an idea of what we got going on. And we'll be back in 2 minutes. We'll see you all then. everybody. Welcome back to NSD. I am your host, Andrew Faubert. I am here with a lot of different hosts of their own shows and their own platforms as well. I got Picket Season, a.k.a. Sydney Swinton of SquidRip Cards and of Let's Talk Football. Below him, I got Dubsauce TTV, hashtag Firecliff Kingsbury. That would be Chris Woroschuk of up here in Canada. Also part of the NSD. He's basically an Arizona analyst of NSD. And below me, I got the NFL edition 1/4, I still think, host.
Yeah, go with that.
Okay. Okay. 1/4 host of the NFL edition on Bucks Reports, Ben Cornett. Sorry, what's that?
A quarter?
A quarter, 1/4. I don't have to say quarter every time. It sounds like I'm a drug dealer every time I say it.
1/4 makes you sound
Well, have you
rich.
seen our show? I mean, it's okay. You can.
Yeah, it was like, because if I would say a quarter host or 1/5 host or an 1/8 host, like.
Listen, when I was at Nate, I said 4/8 once, and I got in a lot of trouble because that's a half.
Okay, I
got in a lot. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, stop wrong.
And
But
I'm
it's
not. If I had any of the guys at work that were watching this right now, they would probably make fun of me too. They'd be like, "Do you really just say 1/4 Faubert? You dumbass." Welcome everybody back to NSD. We are all here doing a Friday night show. Since I'm back, I finally got my voice back. I got hit like with something. Like I still got, like I said, residuals and all that kind of stuff, but I could not go live. I would have been sitting here like, "Hi everybody, welcome to NSD. Let me just mute it so I can clear my voice." Oh, sorry everyone, I forgot to mute it. Yeah, they would have been bad. So I'm not doing that. So I decided to bring a bunch of people in with me so we can kind of cover everything that has gone on the last little while. A couple comments here. I can't wait for 2024. I know neither can I. Yes, Kim and I can go crystal hunting. Oh my God. Listen, the amount of crystals this girl wants now is absolutely insane. Like it's the top of my list for Christmas gifts for her now. So
Oh, dude, I'll hook you up with some sites. I got.
Please.
I got the.
Like I also like there's these TikTok girls.
Oh yeah.
There's like this big tub.
Oh yeah.
Like,
they just scoop. They buy scoops.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like it's in sand or something.
I'm a crystal pro now.
Okay, but yeah. See, I this is the guy I need to talk to before Christmas, obviously. I live in less than an hour from Detroit. Yes, I live in Ann Arbor. That's where a lot of good hockey players actually come from. Ann Arbor. A bud, that's right. We're Canadian. I say A for everything. And
spell
literally,
it EH.
yeah, we do. Yeah,
Yeah,
EH.
Every time I see EH, it's eh. I just see it as eh. But then you guys say A, and I'm like, that's a little different. It's like,
Yeah.
That's what I see as EH.
It's funny because at the beginning, Chris kind of knows this too. There's been a few group chats that we've started for like Dynasty football and stuff like that. And anytime an American comes in there, it is really quick for them to be like, well, wow, you guys do just use that as like actual language. Okay. It's not a joke. Like
it's weird in text. Like
Didn't I say that
it.
to you, Sid, when we were talking about the trades?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did
at the end.
Oh no, I said hey. I didn't say A. I said hey.
Oh,
I was like, you want to have all the second rounders? Hey.
I want all the draft picks. Period.
Bro, I was like, I look at this guy standing like trying to make a trade. I'm like, oh, see what he's got here for picks. I'm like, he's got fucking everybody's second round pick. He can't have mine. I'm like, he can't have mine. Fuck this guy. He's like, he offers me like a sec. He offered me Higbee for a second. I was like, not a chance, buddy. Listen, not happening. Just out of principle. I was like, fuck that. No, I'll give you 2/3. Fuck your second. Keeping this one. Gonna be the only guy with a pick in the second round, but I'm gonna be that guy. And I'm gonna hold it up for like a couple of hours too. So he's gonna be tagging me like, it's your turn to pick. I'm like, well, I'll get to it. I'll get to it, buddy. Listen, I'll put like right in the middle of the fucking round. And he's got every other pick. Be like, yeah, no problem, pal.
It's gonna be funny when I have to drop half my team after the draft because I have 37.
Bro, you have even thirds. You have a good handful of thirds too. Like,
I got 2 firsts, I think 7 seconds.
I don't know why I'm showing up to the draft. Fuck. Can be done quick. One guy just go click, 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 click. Oh, I gotta wait. Click, 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 click.
So for anybody wants to know, we have Dynasty League. Ours is the NSD year 3, which our trophy finally showed up without the freaking little name tags, which I'm pissed off about, but it's a different story. They're in Toronto, even though they're supposed to be in Thunder Bay. They ship 2 different. Anyway, we've had this Dynasty League for a few years, and Sid has taken over one of the teams
this year after all drafts. So I was just given my team.
Yeah, and we were like, sorry, we
listen. This is his 2023 picks. I pulled it up just because. So first. So 2 firsts. Second. So 5 right now seconds. I'm sure if he has it his way, he'll have 9 or 10. And then thirds. 1, 2, 3 thirds. 1, 2, 3 fourths. Like the guy's got 60% of the draft.
Yep.
Just sitting there. Like, what the fuck?
He has all the means to trade up if he absolutely needs to, or if he wants to trade out or whatever. Like, he's gonna be what Kevin did a couple
Andrew doesn't
years
have a
ago.
pick for a couple of years here.
What's that?
You got 2 seconds next year and a 4th and 25. That's
yeah,
it.
but do you see my team? I mean, it's injured right now, but it's still like it's put up 196 and 178 back to back. Besides last week. Last week was a little rough.
Are you 3-0?
I am 3-0.
It's all right. It's going to take an L to the worst team in the league this year.
Fuck you. I'm not. I'm like sitting there today and I'm looking at the team and I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, if I lose to Sid, then every reason why I traded my 1st round pick and got his 2nd round pick is nullified because he's supposed to be tanking. So my thought process is, well, the 2nd overall pick is essentially just a late 1st round pick then. But if he keeps winning games,
hey, I literally have 2 running backs on my roster, or I think 3. Like, so I'm doing my best, but
I think she's watching. So I'm just curious how Ash feels about losing to literally 3 players when she played against me in the other league. Because like she literally lost to 3 players, and the rest of my team didn't do shit.
Ben, you're in a few redrafts this year too, aren't you?
I hate to say it, guys, but I'm not doing any fantasy league stuff.
No.
I
thought Alex would have convinced you eventually to start joining.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just I've been there and done that.
Yeah, okay.
Still fun. It's still fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blasting anybody. It just that's just my preference.
You would be a good candidate for Dynasty though, because like you're given a team, you literally can just. Chris knows what I'm talking about too. There's a few people in the COVID league that we have that literally just like, okay, season started, let me set my lineups, and then they're gone again. They never touch it, or they touch it just like in season, make a couple trades, and then gone.
Hold on,
like
pause, because you brought that up. Did you see the nonsense in the chat last week? Did you see that?
In
After
which
the
one?
trade in the COVID league, in the trade I made.
Oh,
Did you see like what nonsense? Like, yes, I'm an idiot. I fully admit, but like this was not rocket science here, kids.
So what Chris is saying is,
I traded. So I put Zeke on the block Sunday night. I was like, I don't fucking like. I'm tired of Zeke Elliott. I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck this guy. Cowboys suck. Like, get this guy.
Oh yeah, here comes.
I was like, it's Sunday night. I'm like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm like half in the bag. I'm like, yeah, fucking trade block. Fuck this guy. Yeah, whatever. I'm like, yeah, get him out of here. And then he's like, buddy sends me an offer that I didn't hate. So I was like, fair enough. Except not even considering the fact that he played on Monday night. So I like just straight up said, hey, look, I fucked up. Like, can we put him back on my team so I can have a full roster? Because I can't swap anybody in. It's Sunday night. Every game's been played except the Monday Night Football game. I just want to have it's not like I'm doing anything shady. He was in my lineup like Sunday morning when I set my lineup. Yeah. Like, it was just like, fuck, I didn't think he would pull him until after the games because I can't swap him. Like, it was just, I'm an idiot. Fair enough. I learned a lesson the hard way. But I didn't think this. And he's like, well, that's kind of shifty. I'm like, what? He's like,
the shifty thing I did not agree with at all. I was like, if anything,
I was like, man, like he was in my lineup the entire time. It's not like I'm taking a bench player who played and got 75 points. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to put him in. Yeah, this fucking guy. No, he was there. Like, he was my RB1. He was there the whole time until I traded him. I was like, oh fuck. Now I don't have a full lineup.
He really just threw in the Canadian accent for that one.
Yeah, he did heavy. That was heavy.
Exactly. And then, like, this guy's pushing back hard. I'm like, what is happening? Like, the commissioner said to do this.
Yep.
The guy that I'm playing against said it was okay. Like, I don't, like, he's like, oh, it just seems kind of shady. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Give me back Zeke for like an hour and a half, and I'll send him back to you at the end of the fucking game.
And it sucks for me because Kim and me today, we're talking about it. And then after this, we'll get into some of the picks here. I told her that, like, this is the big money league that we have, kind of thing. Like, this is the most that we pay into for at least me for like a single entry. And my team 2 years ago was set to win, but I kept losing every week by either 0.3 points or 2.5 points.
Doesn't that feel good?
And it fucked me. Because all my first round picks are gone and like everything. I had a good team. And then just injuries and those, I was like, now I'm in this weird spot where I can spend 1 year and keep going kind of thing, which was the dumbest choice because I chose that one. Or I could have started rebuilding, which now I'm in the I need to fucking rebuild stage. So, you know.
Do you remember the Wild Wings season where like I should have won the whole league, but George Kittle decided to have 45 points on a Thursday night?
Yep.
That was cool. That was fucking sweet.
I mean, I also hate Alvin Kamara, but let's not even talk about that. But let's talk about these picks here. Let's talk about some of these picks. We got some of the games going on this weekend here. We're going to get everybody's take here, which, by the way, as of next week, I'll have more info about how I can actually get you guys into the whole Betstamp thing, because Betstamp is going to be a sponsor. Technically is a sponsor because I work for them. But they are going to actually be sponsoring this show coming up here pretty damn soon. So stay tuned for all that information, because I'll actually have promo codes for everybody where you can get onto some of these places, like some of the, like, you know, FanDuel promo codes. I can't actually use FanDuel, which sucks, but I can give FanDuel promo codes for everybody else, which is awesome. And I can show all the different odds that are around the world and all these different betting platforms. So you can get your best odds out there, and you can see all the money that I've been making on my betting platforms as well, which is just right now on Bet99, because the only one that actually links up to Betstamp right now. But that'll all be changing soon, and you will see all of the records that I have across the board. This week, I have 5. I have locked in 5 of these. I almost just did 4, but I want to be able to at least go over 500 if something does go wrong. So to get into this right off the bat, I got Chicago at the Giants over 39.5. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that all day long. Minus 105, so you're at least making a little bit of cash. I got Tennessee at the Colts. I got Tennessee covering that spread of 3.5. Tennessee is not a bad team, and the Indianapolis Colts don't even know what kind of a team they are. And this is also a divisional game. When they lean to the team that's not showing, I usually go the other way, and that seems to be profitable. Also sitting at 105. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Philadelphia Eagles. Does anyone remember the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles that won them a Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's coaching the Jags now.
Exactly, Doug Peterson. And the second question was going to be, what team does he coach for right now? Now, sorry, a little tickle in my throat there. Now, we all know that it's not just players that make the team. It's the coaches, it's the coaching staff, it's the training staff, it's everything. Do you not think that on this nice little winning streak where the Jacksonville Jaguars are kind of figured themselves out and they're like, okay, we're kind of badass. Trevor Lawrence may be that guy. You know, Christian Kirk and Zay Jones may have been like the additions that we actually needed to do, right? No, that I saw your face there, Kristen. I won't talk about Christian Kirk too much.
No, that's another Cliff Kingsbury failure.
Oh, yeah. You're not wrong.
I love to see him succeed because I'm like, he was good.
Yes, he was.
Let him walk away. He was good.
And now with the success that the Jacksonville Jaguars are having, I think that every week they have that mentality where they're like, we're doing this for this, and we're doing this for this. We're winning this for this, and we're getting better for this. Now they got their coach that's helped them win. They're like, let's win this one for our head coach. I almost took the money line on this one, but I decided let's at least just cover the spread. I want to get at least a couple more on the dub side first before we start taking a little bit too much, of like heavy risks on the underdogs. So just take Jacksonville at the plus 6.5 to cover that at minus 110. The Cardinals at Carolina, I don't give a effing F what anyone says in regards to what Kyler Murray is. And this is not like to Chris or anything. This is to everybody else. What Kyler Murray is, what Cliff is, what the organization is. There's more talent on the offensive side of the Arizona Cardinals than there is on the Carolina offensive side. That means Arizona will be able to put up more points. Arizona would put up 50 points on a bad
Green's out.
defense.
Did you know that?
Yeah, that's okay.
The rest of the
Kyler will
receivers
still
are like
scramble.
5'2".
James Conner is still there. There's still other wide receivers available. If Tom Brady can at least get 2 points away from the Green Bay Packers with Russell freaking Gage that he's got to throw to 11 times, I'm sure Kyler Murray can either scramble or find some sort of tight end when he's got 4.
Brown's going to have 15 catches again.
Greg
There you
Dortch,
go.
dude. Greg Dortch.
Boom. Or
Greg Dortch, yeah.
Yeah. Those are the kind of players I think that will show up. So give me Arizona money line sitting right there at plus 100 for the dog. And my last pick, this is the one where I was, but it makes sense. I'm not going to go the Davis Mills route anymore. I'm still sticking with a Houston player, though, but I'm taking the Damon Pierce to score a TD at plus 130. That's the best odd that I found it, and you can get that at Bet99. The other places I saw have it. Bodog's got it at 129. So if you're wanting to put a lot of money down on it, obviously, if you want the best odds, go get the best odds at Bet99. But it's basically across the board, around 125, 130. For Damon Pierce to score. It's a lot of injuries on that LA Chargers team, a lot of banged up players on that LA Charger team, and especially on the defensive side. So I think if Houston's going to get into the red zone, and we've seen before that Davis Mills obviously is not doing that great in the red zone. If it's close enough, I think Damon Pierce will just run it in or even catch a nice little screen and pump it in. So those are the 5 picks that we got. I am going to take a picture. This will be posted tomorrow morning so everybody can see. Remember to bet responsibly. Don't be an idiot and start betting houses and cars and wives' jewelry that you
Don't tell Ash.
I'll clip this right here. We're running a quick commercial here, ladies and gentlemen. Be right back. Anyway, so those are the 5 picks that I got here this week. Let's get a couple of the other guys' picks. Ben, give me a couple of picks that you got for this week, including the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's start with that one. What do you think for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think, obviously we're going to face Chiefs and Mahomes. They're coming off a loss last week as well. Again, they should have won, but they didn't. And the Bucs, like I said, they played the Packers. They gave up 14 points in the first half, but they shut down Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. In the second half, the Bucs got back. They didn't get the 2-point conversion. They lost. But this is going to be another close game. Both defenses are playing very well. And I trust our defense just a little bit more than I do the Chiefs' defense. I agree. We're getting Mike Evans back. What a loss that was last week. You don't realize that even if he doesn't catch the football, he does so many things. He blocks for other receivers. He's that decoy. He's that decoy, that people are going to, keep an eye on. Mm-hmm. So that gets other guys like the Gage is open. Perriman's not playing this week, but guys like, Cole Beasley, our new receiver, getting other guys open, which is really key. I'm going to go Bucks. I'm not a homer. I'm just going Buck. I like it. Give me
minus
20 to 17. This is going to be a close game.
I'm going to double check that.
Minus 1.5, I think.
Is it minus 1.5?
The one I'm looking at is minus 1, but it could be minus 1.5, whatever. Yeah,
there a few people have a couple of different odds. I do see a couple of trends on a couple of games that have been changing as well. I'm just hopping on that right now. Looking at that Buccaneers game. Yeah, they got it. Actually, I got it on Bodog +1 for the Buccaneers. So they got actually.
DraftKings has a -1.
Wow. So, yeah, see, everybody's kind of trying to maybe make a little bit of cash. Like different sites right now, for example, say Bodog, DraftKings, all these guys taking this game as like a favorite to their own. So yeah, if you're a homer and you want to make some money, I would say go to Bodog right now, if for the spread anyway, because that seems to be the best odds. What do they got for the over on DraftKings? Because I got 46 right now.
45.5.
Ooh. I'd
go under.
Yeah. I wouldn't touch that if I was laying bets, but if you gave me a free $100 to put down, I would probably put it on the under as well. What do you think there, Sid?
On the Chiefs-Bucks game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going under 2. I'm just not a fan of the Bucks offense right now.
I agree. And what about you, Chris?
I would go Chiefs.
You Chiefs money line on that one?
Listen. I hate when these two teams play each other because it violates that rule of like not betting against Tom Brady, but also not betting against Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, sir.
So I choose to not bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
I think Brady probably should have stayed retired, but that's my opinion.
Fair enough. Well, let's stick. Go ahead.
I was say one thing about that game. There is a Grandpa Tom bedtime. Anytime Brady plays in the prime time, he's not as good. You can look it up. Grandpa Tom bedtime the last couple of years.
He's got his curfew.
It affects Brady.
Gotta get back to the center.
Yes.
Get in the shuffleboard tomorrow morning.
The fact that it's a primetime game will affect it. I think he's already had a slow start, so I would avoid betting on the Bucks this week.
I like that, actually. That's quite funny. I was going to stick with Chris there, and we'll go with the Cardinals there game. The Cardinals are going to Carolina. This one's got the same type of spread. They got Carolina is the favorite at -1. Money line at -120. Again, everything that I said already.
What site is that?
Carolina's favorite.
Oh, FanDuel has Carolina at +1.5.
Yes, I've seen a couple sites 1.5 and a couple sites 1.
Well,
yeah,
no,
so
they're +1.5, not favorite. They're the dogs.
Sorry. Every site I've seen. Carolina's the dog, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. Carolina's the
interesting.
dog.
And then on our side here, it looks like on Canada and a couple of sites, it looks like Carolina is the favorite. So again, kind of the similar thing about Tampa and Kansas City, where this seems to be terrible. Yeah, this seems to be a week where a lot of these apps, like one of these apps, is going to cash out on a lot because they'll just have a good offer on these guys. So let's get your take on there first. What do you think with the Cardinals this week?
I mean, if like not being a homer, I'd bet on the Cardinals. I just think that the Cardinals, like you said, the Cardinals offense is just, in my opinion, and in most people's opinion, better than Carolina's. But I mean, for me, watching at this point now, and I mean I've said it a bunch, but at this point now, watching every Cardinals game, it just comes down to coaching. Like even on the defensive side of the ball, like fucking that, like they can't have guys like Isaiah Simmons playing 15 snaps. It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, and listen, my love for Isaiah Simmons. I was like,
this week they asked Vance Joseph about it, and he was like, oh yeah, he's playing really good football. I'm like, really? Then play him for more than 20 snaps. Be cool.
Can you put him in there more?
Yeah, but play him. Fucking play him in the game. But either way, yeah, I would take Arizona, and again, like Ben said, not being a homer, but I think they're the better team.
What about the over? It's at 43.5 that I see, at least for Bodog. What do you think about that?
I'm going to say under.
Okay.
I believe in I believe in Arizona's defense as much as like I rag on Vance Joseph, like stopping the Carolina offense. And I don't think that the Cardinals are putting up 43 by themselves.
Okay. What about you? What about you, Ben?
Yeah, I'm going under too. I mean, you got two pretty good defenses. It's the offenses that are more in question.
Kyler's 2-0 against Baker Mayfield. I don't know if that matters to anybody, but Kyler and Baker like played together, and he's 2-0 against him right now.
Okay.
And with McCaffrey, it's always a thigh, it's a leg, it's a foot, it's a.
Did you see what he said earlier in the week? He's like, I go to the bathroom and they put me on the injured reserve.
Yeah. And I saw this comment here quick too. What's the Bucks team under? That one was for you there.
45.
45 for DraftKings, 46. So around that 45, 46 mark there. Ben, sorry, continue.
Yeah, I'm going under for this Carolina-Arizona game. Again, both defenses are going to, for the most part, they're pretty good. It's the offenses I worry about. It's one of those games where it's not really going to be fun to watch, but I think I'm going Carolina. I think they're going to win this game just because defense. They've been in every game.
They have. They have.
They've been in every game. They should have beat Cleveland, and you could argue they probably could have beat the Giants. They beat a Saints team that was just really having issues. So, and their special teams has been pretty good. So I'm going with Carolina in this game to win.
And what about you, Sid? Just in general with this game, what do you like on it? The spread, the money line, over and under?
So I'll get to that, but I just in case he was talking about the Bucks total team, like you can bet on just the Bucks total points. It's at 23.5 in FanDuel. I don't know if that's what. Just for the Bucks alone. I don't know.
I would take the under on that.
Yeah, I kind of like that too.
They would probably get literally right at 23. So I would take the under.
For Cardinals Panthers, I think it is I think the defenses are the better part of these teams. So yeah, I think I go under on that. I'm probably not touching either side just because I agree. I think the Cardinals are a better team, but for some reason they're just not the same when they go to the East Coast. I don't think. And it was a Call of Duty release last week, so I'm
just the beta. Just the beta. Listen, just the beta.
Well, listen, I got the gamer here. So.
Yeah, we got the 28th is circled on the calendar here, all right? That's the full game release.
Cardinals on the 28th.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm putting thousands of dollars against the Cardinals on the 28th. Believe me there.
Okay. I did have a fun bet though since we're talking totals and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever done it, Andrew, but I like to tease a lot of the lower totals. It's kind of a fun time. So if you look at the Bears-Giants game and the Patriots-Packers game, they're both at 39.5.
Yep.
You can tease them 4.5 points down to 35. Take the over, and it's even money if you parlay it.
Ooh.
Both games over 35 points. So you already were taking the over on the Bears-Giants.
Yep.
So if you think the Patriots and Packers go over 35, you parlay together, and that's a plus 100 parlay little tease there that I like because I think Brian Hoyer is a very competent quarterback. Started plenty and can go ahead and get those points.
It's funny that you say that because, just to give a quick glimpse into my notes here without giving too much away, right at the top corner.
You're going to trade me here first. Oh.
I was going over the games between New England and Green Bay this season too because I was extremely tempted to take that over.
Curious what you have for spread on that game because I'm looking at 9.5.
For which game? Oh, the Packers?
Patriots.
Yeah, 9.5.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they basically are saying for some reason that Bill Belichick is going to forget how to coach.
Well, Mac Jones isn't playing, I don't think, is he?
Yeah, but Brian Hoyer, listen, I know Brian Hoyer is Brian Hoyer, but Brian Hoyer also comes in and can just do okay because they got 4 running backs. And we saw last year, even with Mac Jones, he's like, I'll fucking run it.
Yeah, they beat the Bills throwing, what was it, 4 passes, 5 passes?
I thought it was only 2.
Maybe it was only 2. I remember being single digits. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Everyone who put Mac Jones into their fantasy lineup that week too was like, oh.
I would, 9.5's a lot. To be honest with you,
ridiculous.
When you see Green Bay last week, I mean,
especially with Green Bay struggling,
offensive, and then what do they got? Their safety might not even play. The guy that had the groin injury, Alexander.
Oh no, Jair Alexander,
yeah, he might not be playing. So that's a big loss in their defense.
Yep.
So that's going to open up the offense a little for New England. So.
Now, don't get me wrong. I was impressed with just Vegas overall this week with their overall bets, like the way that they put everything out. Because I was really searching. I was going in there for player props too, being you guys, I don't like some of these. But the 2 that I am most comfortable with, almost to a T, probably even 3, is the Chicago, the Tennessee, and the Arizona games. You could parlay that. I'm not sure what it would be. I could probably find out here in a second. I took the over on that, and I can find the Colts one here. But all that, in my opinion, parlayed together would probably hit. Let's see what we got. You're getting plus 662 is what I would get on my end. So if you parlayed all 3 of those together, I can almost guarantee you that it's probably going to win. That would probably be my parlay tease for the week. Is I would probably do that. Couple other games I just want to get everybody's opinion on quick here. But first, actually, I wanted to go over, since we got Sid here, the Pittsburgh game, which they are hosting. Hosting the Jets, and you are favored by -180. The Jets got a +3.5 spread to cover, and the game is over or under 41.5. Let's start with you, Sid. What do you like about this game?
I saw somewhere that Zach Wilson was -230 to throw an interception, and that alone was kind of hilarious. It's like, oh, he's going to throw a pick. So if he throws a pick, anytime the Steelers win a turnover battle, I think they're going to win the game because our defense is our strength. I have a lot to say about our offense, hence the name. This side right here, Pickett season. Like, let's get him in already because Mitch.
I like how you're using your name the same way I'm using mine.
Yeah. You gave me the idea. I switched it up.
Two very different reasons, but still.
Right. Mitch just can't see the field. But I don't think the Jets are going to be very good. I think Zach Wilson coming off the injury, he's got to prove himself still. I'm not going to bet on the game personally because I don't want to bet on the Steelers and lose. I did, however, put a lot of money on the Steelers against the Bengals. I felt very confident that week one. I think we win. I don't think it's I could see that being an under game just because, again, our offense has been struggling. Our offensive line has played better as of late, but
better than expected for sure. I will give you that. Yes,
100%. The problem is Mitch Trubisky has played bad. He's got a great arm. He's got great arm talent. He can't see the field. He's got terrible decision making and vision, and he locks on a guy, and that's who he's throwing to. Doesn't matter what the hell happens in the play. Like, that's what he's doing. And so that's why I think the change to Pickett is going to be a lot better, just because I think Pickett's better than that at that. Mitch moves well, and as long as the play calls are right, which we all know, if anybody has listened to me complain about the Steelers, our play calling is bad. Matt Canada must have been taught by Cliff Kingsbury maybe in middle school and just stuck with that playbook because our playbook is trash. We've thrown over the middle.
But does it have 15 different screenplays to be used?
No, all we use is the sidelines. We've thrown 5 plays over the middle in 3 games.
Did you know our playbook does not include a QB sneak for Kyler Murray?
I mean, he's a little guy. I don't know how far.
It doesn't include. There's no play drawn up for Kyler Murray to do a QB sneak. There's no call for that. They're just like.
But if he's that little, you could really sneak him in.
You
would think.
I wondered last year why they never did that on 4th and inches, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, there's no play for that." I'm like, "There's no what?"
I'm sorry. What are you talking about, Cliff?
Anyway, sorry.
And that's when you knew Chris was starting to lose his love for Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, just follow me on Twitter. It's every day I post something about how. Andrew's like, yeah, I've been watching. I've been watching.
By the way, Sid, I'm gonna say I think this game, the Steelers, I think I could see a 13-6 type of score.
100%.
Wow.
Am I the only one who's like really eyeballing the Jets at +3.5?
I glanced over it only because if it is
Wilson starting? I know he's healthy, but is he starting?
If
Flacco's top 5 in passing yards.
Zach Wilson's starting. They already said.
I didn't see that or not.
Okay, because my whole thing was if it was Flacco, then it becomes like a old in-division rivalry type thing where Flacco would be like, "Fuck the Steelers, I'm coming for you."
Starting.
Yeah, so. If Zach Wilson's starting,
you know what? Zach's my boy though, man. Banging his mom's best friend. That's my boy. Like, I idolize Zach Wilson. Now listen, I don't care how good he is at football. I adore that man.
I told Kim, I had told Kim about that, and then I even said after that too. I was like, "Guess what happened to his jersey sales?" So she goes, "Oh my god, probably through the fucking."
I want one, man.
No, I want one too.
Yeah, buddy, listen, that's my boy.
Those jersey boxes and stuff like that I'm buying and stuff like that. I'm gonna try and have a few stocked up one time. So like, what kind of Sid does with his cards there, I want to try and get going on possibly here, or maybe do a partnership with Sid. We'll see what's going on. You know what I mean? But if one day we can get one of those like signed, it's like, oh, buddy, you're going on the wall. You know what I mean? Like, you are iconic. So I'll get Ben's take quick on the Pittsburgh game. What are you going to take? Are you going to take the over and under on that? Like money line? What are you more leaning towards?
Go under. Go under.
Yeah?
I mean, just because, again, both offenses are, I hate to say it, brutal. You know?
It's
both
a combination of quarterback, offensive coordinator for the Steelers.
Yeah, play calling. Yeah, exactly. And
like I said, that's exactly why I like that 3.5.
Steelers, good defense. Jets, pretty solid defense. So I expect a 13-6 kind of score.
The Jets have a very, there is a couple of teams out there that obviously have very enticing offenses for quarterbacks. Like Lamar and Aaron Rodgers are probably the two who are looking at other ones being like, man, where the fuck would I like to go and play? And Lamar's probably
Rodgers with George Pickens, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Pat Freiermuth to throw to.
They joked about that on the Pat McAfee show the one time, and I think everybody took a quick pause and they were like, well,
trust me, I was looking at Aaron Rodgers in black and gold and just had it as my screensaver. Just come on, please.
So did Tone Diggs.
Oh yeah,
100%.
So did Tone Diggs, man.
Chris, we'll get your take on the Pittsburgh Jets game quick. Are you going to take that plus 3.5?
I don't know. See, like you guys both said, the offenses are both bad. Like they're both bad. Pittsburgh does win on their defense, and I don't think the Jets would win, but for some reason that plus 3.5, just really is looking very enticing.
Mm-hmm.
If it ends up being like Ben was saying 13, I was thinking maybe 13-10, that plus 3.5 that gets you the win, right? That's where I got Pittsburgh to win hands down, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the plus 3.5 is what's enticing to me. I wouldn't take them on the money line by any means.
The over-under for me, the only reason it stops me is because this seems like the one game where Elijah Moore goes off for 3 touchdowns and Najee Harris goes off for 4. 2 running and 2 passing. You know what I mean? That is the perfect recipe for something like that to happen. Zach Wilson comes back and he's just you want to know what I was doing when I was gone? Banging moms, dude.
Yeah, my boy. I adore Zach Wilson. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, couple of comments here. I play Andrew this week, is what Ash said, and this is actually the one matchup I'm actually the most worried about. I don't even COVID. I'm just listen, I'm gonna try and beat Burton because that just means his pick will be better than for me. But it is what it is.
You see who I'm playing in COVID?
No, who are you playing?
The guy I traded Zeke to. Wouldn't give him back to me. He said I was being shady. I'm I want to beat the brakes off this fucking guy. I want to fucking pummel him into the earth.
And you do have a good team too, so you probably will do it.
That's why I traded Zeke, because I was he's a bum. Worst guy on my team.
Said leave Zeke alone.
Yeah, he's a bum.
And then she goes, "That's what you get for talking shit about my man Zeke."
But real quick, I think Zeke's gonna have a good game Sunday. That Washington run defense is bad.
I just saw something about that, Ben. Yeah,
him and Pollard. I think they're gonna go off this week. This is gonna be a
really
very, very bad game for the Commanders' defense.
Yeah, okay. Because I was gonna say Sean Spencer's coming up here in the comment section too. He's the big Commanders fan, and he goes, "The Eagles suck," from a Commanders fan. But yeah, I just saw something on Twitter about that where it was they're 28th or 29th in the league, and they hit that threshold where I think 26th and 27th is okay, maybe we can get it back. And then it was Washington. It was oh shit, that's not good at all. Ash also says, I think you meant to say Washington. Sean Spencer says, maybe. Arizona can't win the line of scrimmage. Ooh. No, okay, nothing on that. I was waiting for him to be you know what, buddy? All right.
Kime looked at our O-line and went, that's good enough.
And how many times have me and you talked at the draft, parties and draft?
I want them both fired too. Don't get me wrong. I want them both fired. Kime's got to go too. It's not just Cliff. I want clean house.
Just everybody gone.
I want Sean Payton as the coach and I want Adrian Wilson as the GM. That's what I want.
Adrian Wilson, where's he from again?
He played for Arizona.
Personal,
he's working for the Cardinals right now. I don't even know if it's personal. I can't remember what he does.
I thought it was VP of player personnel. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I can't remember what his position with the Cardinals is, but he played for the Cardinals for years. He's actually very smart. He was interviewing for GM jobs this past summer. And I was how about we fire Kime and hire him instead? We'll let him walk out the fucking door.
Teresa says, night guys, enjoyable show. I always appreciate you tuning in. Brooks George said McCaffrey quad is questionable. Everything about him is questionable. That's why you got to take the Sherwood Park legend Chuba in all of your drafts. Great safety blanket.
Everybody just clings to that around here. I knew Chuba's mother's best friend.
Okay, first of all, and only
he's like, I actually did.
No.
Here we go.
No, I grew up in Ontario. I never came. I remember I wasn't part of anything out here. But Alex Loosemore was his center for it was like an all-star game or something like that. So shout out to Alex for that. Yeah. Alex has actually like been like a part of it kind of thing. So it was like shit. Kind of wish you were still at NSD, Alex.
Can we talk about how his whole team is the Lions and he tried to get Amon-Ra from me just to like complete that?
No, he's been trying to get DeAndre Swift back, and I'm like, listen, maybe in the offseason when I get my championship, then I'll probably.
He sent me more offers for Amon-Ra than you sent me for Patrick Mahomes. Oh, you sent me one every fucking other day.
I haven't traded for Patrick Mahomes in a while. Not in NSD anyway. I got Josh Allen. I don't want fucking Patrick Mahomes.
No, in COVID, you kept trying to get me to trade.
Yeah.
Well, Kyler Murray and like all these other bums for Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, no, stop it.
I tried. Take the 23.5, he said. He was 2 for 3 in that wind bowl.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, that's what it was. Oh, that's
we're
right,
talking
the
about
wind
that.
bowl.
Yeah.
That's why
And they beat the Bills.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, exactly. The playbook is I don't know, run around and do something. Like that's the game plan. I don't know, run around and do something.
Maybe if the Raiders actually took a little bit of that, they would start winning too. Because it is really hard to watch the Raiders when I said they were going to be so.
Hey, who's more upset? Who's more upset, Rodgers or Devontae right now? Who misses who more?
You think
Devontae?
Well,
1,000%. What's he got? 60 yards in the season?
I think I always kind of like, not that I don't think Devontae is a good receiver. I think he's a great receiver, but like I always thought that like playing with Rodgers kind of like gave him an extra step. Like he's not a receiver that could just go to any quarterback and be like, yo, throw me the ball. Like obviously Tyreek Hill has made Tua a better quarterback, right? Like that's not the same for Devontae. Devontae's a good receiver, but he's not making Carr better than Derek Carr.
Yep.
Like Derek Carr is still Derek Carr. Whereas like when you're playing with Aaron Rodgers, like you don't necessarily even have to be a good receiver. You just need to catch the fucking ball when it comes your way. Rodgers has made some average receivers look very good. Not saying that again, not saying Devontae is average, but I'm just saying he's made some average receivers look very good.
Devontae's upset because they're 0-3.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line. They're 0-3.
Yeah.
You know, that's
like he can't get the ball.
I mean, not after the first game. That first game, he was getting the ball pretty good, and then everybody in the league was like, "Oh shit, okay, their plan is to go with Devontae." So, like,
but hey, I'll tell you what, Max Collins is pretty nice. That
Matt Collins,
yes, he is. He sure is
for himself. You know,
got him in both of the NSD leagues.
And you know what's funny is something even told me at like 11:30 at night one night when I was looking at it, because I had my bid in it too. I was like, I should probably go to like.
Well, yeah, because in one league it's on Wednesday, and I look and I see that all these people bid, and I won with $10, and I was like, okay. I go to the other league, and I'm like, Andrew, why is this on Thursday? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, I just seen that all the same people in this league were bidding. I'm changing to $20.
Yeah,
like.
I was quite surprised, but I also was starting to look at it. I was like, I don't want to spend all of it just because I spent a good chunk on Aguilar. Because I was like, Aguilar's.
That one paid off a lot, hey?
Well, not yet. I just thought. But Aguilar in the offseason, I was like, there's going to be something there, but I don't know. But you did get a good steal. Pickett comes in week 5 is what Sean Spencer says.
Please.
Brooks, didn't Tomlin say he's not changing quarterbacks?
As of now. Wait till he's in 4. And his 15th season record is in jeopardy.
I like this one here. Brooks George says Atlanta money line. I'm looking at it.
Alt money line, because I think we were talking about the money line on the Steelers at 3.5.
Is it alt? Does it say alt?
No, it says ATL, but I think it might have been alt. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Because it just says question mark. But not
okay.
Really.
If George is still watching, let us know if it is Atlanta, because I'm looking at that one.
Is the Atlanta money line like minus or plus 283?
No,
283. I see what you did there.
28.
Jesus.
I had to. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Kyle is not going to tune into this. He's going to be like, fuck you guys.
Oh, I
I'm
know.
not going in.
Fuck
gonna
Kyle.
DM me.
No, I'm just kidding. I really like Kyle. I just like making fun of him. I really like Kyle.
Kyle's good shit. Shout out to Kyle. Kyle was actually going to be on tonight, but he's in an escape room right now.
Oh.
So, and if he
Hopefully
can't
he
escape,
escapes.
I mean, if he doesn't, he'll probably tune in. So, I'm looking at that game right now. It's the same as the
Plus
Buccaneers
104, I
one
just saw.
there, with the plus, with the spread there, like -1 for Cleveland. Cleveland is favored, but Atlanta is at even money. I don't know. Cleveland is still a very good team, like a very, very good team. Like that defense is stacked.
Yeah, and their run game is really good too.
Very good. Like they
can
do
run
have
it.
Kareem and Nick Chubb. And every fantasy person who is like, I don't know about Nick Chubb this year. Well, if you have Nick Chubb, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I really enjoyed last week when they tried to punch it in 3 times with Hunt, and then Dad came on the field on 4th down and punched it in. It's like, yeah, there you go.
let me show you how I do.
Yeah, let's just listen, young buck.
So at that point, I would not. But you know what? If you want to go for anything, take the under on that game because it's pretty high. Actually, I think it was like 47.5. I would take the under on that one. Ash says, "I love Zach." Oh boy. It'll either.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh boy.
Wait a second.
It'll either be a huge blowout or a close divisional game. I also agree. Ben is my favorite. There you go.
Thank you.
Don't be fooled by our second quarter last week. I think he means the Commanders. We held the Eagles' run game under 100 yards rushing, but that's all. I'll say it first. It's Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell. They're both more passing running backs, in my opinion. But listen, there's one thing about the Eagles that is going to scare me. We saw them in the draft last year go with Jordan Davis, and that changed like the whole kind of culture of the defensive side of the ball. Philadelphia is more than likely, in my opinion, I'm going to say it now so I can clip it when it does happen around draft time. Philadelphia is probably going to draft the running back out of Texas, Bijan Robinson, and they're going to be one stupidly dominant fucking team for a long time, and it's going to really suck for all of us because there's going to be nothing but cocky Philadelphia Eagle fans forever.
How many first-round picks do they have?
They got
At least
2.
I'm going to have them in the NSD3 league.
What's that?
At least I'll have Bijan Robinson in the year 3 league.
Unless I make
with
you an offer,
with one of your many picks, probably.
But the thing is with Bijan is it goes into the Najee draft a couple years ago. All this other talent like quarterbacks, everybody's gonna want. Everybody's looking at like Anderson, Fallen, and Carter. I actually have a lot of these prospects here. Isaiah Foxy will probably start getting up there. Nolan Smith, BJ Ojulari. All those guys are going to start being coveted. And Bijan is going to fall to a team that is already good, like Pittsburgh was. And all they needed was that really damn good running back to come in and just to be the stable of the offense. And that's what Philadelphia is looking at. The Saints are kind of looking at that. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals are especially looking at that, being like, fuck yeah. Because I know they like James Conner, but a guy like Bijan Robinson, where you can actually put into the slot too and have on the field with James Conner would also be something. And I'm not also going to lie. I know that we just took a running back, but if the Buccaneers are sitting there and Bijan Robinson next draft healthy and everything like that, of course, too, and he stays the way that he is playing right now in college, because he's even playing better than he was last year, which is awesome. Even the Buccaneers would probably consider taking him and be like, fuck, Aaron Rodgers, you want to come over here and play with this offense now? Here you go. You know what I mean? Like, that is just a player who is going to come in and really start to put up numbers in next year's draft. And that's what I'm going to be scared of, is especially if the Philadelphia Eagles draft him.
This is a really good draft class to have an absolute shit ton of picks in the Dynasty draft in. Yeah, it's a good draft. Like, you're doing well. That's why I wouldn't give you the second, because I was like, I want one of these guys. Like, the second rounders are going to be good players too. I want my pick.
I think some other people like me and probably Robert, because Robert has talked about being like, you know what, I didn't draft last year and now I want to because everybody's got all these other players. I'm like, yeah, but you got to understand there's certain times of the year that is actually like people will give up those first round picks and stuff. And right now, ain't nobody giving up first round picks.
Well, that was me in my first Dynasty league. I sold out every pick I had for the following year to win the first year of the league, and I did. But then I got really bored around draft time. I'm like, I want to draft players, man.
Yep.
Then I got all these old guys. I'm like, son of a bitch. I have
And
no
that's
rookies.
why
This is horseshit.
everybody finally caught on what I do, and I get as many fourth round picks and as many trades as I can, so that at least in the fourth round, I'm like, okay, so I can get 4 guys from my taxi squad, maybe 1 or 2 guys on the bench that I think are going to be okay, and then I'll trade some of these other 4 so I can get maybe a third in another year. That's just how I've always been, and it's worked for me because I've gotten some stupid steals like James Robinson, Myles Gaskin when he was on his high rise in the NSD league, and then of course I traded Myles Gaskin to get Jonathan Taylor. So, which I showed Sid the other day. I took a screenshot of that, and he was like, "How? What the hell, dude?" Which, if you want, like, go see what I traded for Jonathan Taylor, dude. Like, it was to Jesse Groundwater for, I think it was Myles Gaskins, another player, and that's it. So, Sean Spencer says our secondary is another thing. We gave up over 300 to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a baller, though, dude. Jalen Hurts is good. Loosemore is a legend. You damn right. Loosemore is a legend.
I know that.
Yeah, I was going to say he's one of the hosts, one of the co-hosts, I guess, of NFL Edition there with Ben. I have also had the pleasure of, I guess, in a weird way, introducing him to the whole like show things. Like his first ever appearance, I will clip that one day and have like a little montage for him where he finally started coming on my shows. And then I was like, do you want to be my co-host? And he's like, fuck yeah. And then he was my co-host. And then, of course, he's doing the NFL edition and stuff like that. And he's got some stuff behind the scenes going on here, which I can't talk about because we got to wait. But, some stuff is going on here. Loosemore is definitely a legend. Brooks George says Elon Musk will own all Arizona sports in 5 years, buying championships. I don't think Elon Musk really cares about sports, does he?
I mean, did Jeff Bezos?
Bezos wants a team, though. Bezos.
Listen, I love Elon Musk. I'd be okay with him owning the Cardinals. Very much okay with it.
I want a Canadian millionaire to start being like, can we get a Canadian team?
Why is he get the shit kicked out of them every fucking year?
At least we'd have one, though.
I don't think the NFL is expanding. I just think it's like 32 is perfect. The number of teams in each division. I don't know.
The only way that they would be able to, I think, and I've actually done this with Alex as a article before, is the only way it would make sense is if they went to 36 teams, because they would be able, and with some of the teams that they would probably bring into that expansion, you'd actually be able to realign the divisions that would appropriately work for some of these other teams that are not traveling ridiculous amounts of miles and kilometers possibly to get to where they got to go. Kind of like with the NHL.
They can't do a London team, dude.
I agree. I don't think that it makes sense to do a London team unless, and this is just me, unless you had the schedule where a month of home games, a month of away games, and you did something like that. Because there's no way you'd be able to do that travel back and forth.
But then that would be competitive balance. You get into that.
And now I know definitely owners would be like, no. But it would have to be like 36. You would have to put in one West Coast, one East Coast, like literally there. So you probably throw maybe an Orlando team. You maybe throw in the Virginia Beach, which I know Sean Spencer and me and Alex have actually talked about as being like a very reasonable location for another team.
Well, what divisions how do you break the divisions up? So you got 18 AFC, 18 NFC, and then what?
It would be 3 divisions per from 6. What I saw. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which makes like balances it out. And then if they wanted to mess with the playoffs later on, when you move it essentially to an 18-game season, because that's what they would do if they did the expansion. Because
what am I thinking? The Jaguars are already in London. They're the London Jaguars. They go there every day.
They do have their fan base essentially there.
Well, because their owner owns one of the soccer teams in England.
Which soccer? I should know that too. But what soccer team is it?
I forget what it was. Fulton.
Fulton. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fulton FC.
Yeah. So I mean, London, I don't think so, but okay. If they did one of those, I'm open for Toronto. I already told the fiance I'm in a new job too, where I'm like, listen, can I get a transfer to Toronto? Can I go? Like I would do it in a heartbeat. I would work for them. I would work for the stadium. I wouldn't even care. Like I know
in Toronto though.
I know. That would be.
I guess you're from out there though, so you're like, fuck, I want bagged milk and fucking all the other shit in Ontario has.
Bagged milk? What is
bagged milk?
Oh.
Eastern Canada, they bag milk like fucking degenerates in a Ziploc bag. Just there you go, buddy.
Well, not as yeah, whatever. Shut up. But yeah,
Poke a hole in the bottom and you can shotgun it.
We literally have to get a device that it's funny because I'm holding a comb right now, but there's a little device that has like a little V and there's a little blade in there so you can cut the top of the bag so you can actually pour it. And though if you cut it in a weird angle, and actually when you go to pour the milk out, would fold the bag so all your milk's just gonna go all over the place.
How often I get asked about bagged milk? Like if you're like gaming with people, they're like, "Oh, you're from Canada? Like you guys bag your milk?" I'm like, "That's like, east. That's fucking east. On the weird side of the country.
That way.
This is the good. We got oil here. We make plastic jugs and we put fucking milk in it."
Which I mean, he's not wrong. But also at the same time, we're like on the East Coast there, especially in Ontario, that's where all like Toronto's the biggest one and stuff like that. Everyone thinks that. And Toronto thinks as well that they only exist. Like it's just Toronto is Ontario. Toronto also has that mentality. Where I was from is definitely on like the other side of the biggest freshwater lake in the world, which is gorgeous. But that also being said, it's very expensive there. So when you pay, say your taxes and stuff like that, you have to pay another set of taxes just to live in Ontario, and when I came out here, I was like, wait, I get more money on my checks. Oh, and I can make.
Don't gotta pay 12% at the grocery store.
I can make more than $10 an hour not being in a mine. I was like, oh my God, I love social media. Thank God it exists, and I knew that this part of Canada was out here. Like now, look, you see all this shit I have. I wouldn't have this in Ontario. Fuck, like come on now. This is yeah. So anyway, Ash said I'm on Raw. Yeah,
I like that she said that after I used him on Raw to beat her.
Yeah. Did you actually?
Oh, buddy,
last week?
I beat her in week 2 with that dog shit team you gave me. The team's not bad is the biggest lie you've ever fucking told me. This team's not bad. All right, I'll take it. Get in there. This team sucks ass.
Hey, it's not. Hey, it's better than the
you
team
okay,
I walked into.
This team's horrible.
It is funny too because every week or so, every couple of weeks actually, Chris will go into the Sleeper app chat and remind everybody how bad.
Yeah, and you know what? I would be 3-0 if Mike Evans wasn't a fucking loose cannon, man. Like I was just like, I have this like nobody in Mike Evans' spot, and I'm like, I lost by 10. I'm like, cool, I'd be 3-0 if Mike Evans wasn't a fucking psycho.
Oh my God. Matt Collins is from North Carolina Tar Heels, says Sean Spencer as well. He's a big Tar Heel fan.
Tar Heels. That's what he says.
See, Brooks did say Atlanta too. Yeah, so I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't do it.
Kyle, go to bed. It's past your bedtime.
Matt
made it out.
I see in the comments there. I see him there. Go to bed.
There he is. What's up?
Go to bed,
you
man.
Got
have
out
a
of
bath.
The escape. Have a bath. Kyle. See, we missed you, buddy. And you know what? I'm gonna block you if you start talking about Gainwell like that. Okay, like Gainwell is awesome. He just needs to get off of the Philadelphia Eagles. So Texas also has Worthy, is what he meant to say, and Worthy doesn't come out of the draft this year, but he does come out next year. And that would mean at least he gets some practice reps, I think, with Arch Manning, which would be kind of cool because that's where Arch Manning's supposed to be going. Hashtag tank for Arch, right? Oh, somebody decided to show up too. I'll give him a second here to get all set up because I think he wants to pop in and say hi.
Oh, I'm out. That's my cue to leave. That's my cue to leave.
Vespa and Musk looking at Suns. I know that there's a couple of owners there looking at the Suns as well because the guy is a little bit of an asshole. That's what I heard, unverified source. Hey, listen, anytime that an owner gets kicked out and stuff like that, usually you're allowed, like everybody's going to start sniffing around. So the rumors are going to go a-flying. You ready to go there, Kyle? You want to come in and talk? Yeah, he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, analyst for NSD for the Atlanta Falcons, host of the NFC South Takeover Show on Let's Talk Football with his co-host Nicole, myself, of course, but it's mostly Kyle and Nicole, and I'm going to be 100% real here with everybody. Sean does a great job too, because Sean is our designated Carolina Panther fan, which, by the way, we are looking for a Carolina Panther fan out there. So if you know anybody who wants to talk about the Carolina Panthers, we got a show for you. But enough with the intro. I think so. Somewhere. But without further ado, let's get the guy in here so we can talk a little bit about his teams. Mr. Kyle AC, how we doing today, buddy?
Oh man, just got back from an escape room. Came to talk shit to Chris and see how everybody's doing.
They let you near children with that stash or what?
Man, look at those arms, hey? Just showing off for the ladies or
Fucking
what?
rights, man.
Clean
Absolutely.
your room, bud. Go clean your room.
This is my
okay?
office, and it's in progress.
Progress.
Here, let's put these guys beside each other because there's a little spat going on between you guys. How's it going today, buddy?
It's going. Yeah, it's not too
I've
bad.
been trying to copy my look for 6 years.
Oh, relax. Calm down now. Is your hat forward? Put it forward.
If you get some milk on your beard, the cat might lick it off for you.
Oh, you think so, hey? I bet you that's what's going on with Kyler Murray, and that's why he's not studying his plays, hey? He has his cat licking his cat.
Oh, we already missed you missed my Arizona rant already. We're firing everybody. You missed it. I'm firing everybody.
Oh yeah, okay.
If Homeboy still has a job by the time fucking Sid's going to the game, he's gonna beat up Cliff for me.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Sid's going to the Patriots game.
If Kyler kicking the balls too while you're there.
Sid, you know that Tom Brady's on the Bucs though, right? I don't know why you're going to that game, but
it's probably really cheap. And to be honest, I mean, like, I know
Monday night game.
What's that?
It's a Monday night football game.
That's fair. No, it'll be a good game. I'm just giving you a hard time. No, it'll be good.
I know you're probably an Elks fan. I screwed up and said Chris was an Elks fan there earlier, but he's actually.
What is he a fan? Is he a Saskatchewan fan? He probably is.
Both Rough Rider
fans.
Bad
homeboy.
Of course he is. Why not?
Hey, but at least you guys.
Did your mom love you? Like, oh my.
Oh fuck.
Hey, at least you guys still love the Oilers together.
Oh yeah, you know what? Did you hear what happened with that? I don't know if anybody else who watches hockey that the Flames played the whole starting lineup against our B line
on Tuesday against like the D team. Yeah.
Like, what is going on with that? Like, what are you trying to prove?
First of all,
then tonight they left Draisaitl wide open in front of the net, and he just like tapped one in. I'm like, you should cover that guy. That Leon guy's decent. You should maybe cover him.
First of all, see. Everyone in this chat here, including Ben, knows exactly what we're talking about right now. Sid is sitting there just like, fuck.
He's like, what's hockey?
I'm still thinking about a cat licking milk off of Kyle's
It's a good fantasy, honestly.
It's hard to like hockey when the stadium in your state only holds like 12 people.
Oh my god, yeah, that is as a person, I like the Coyotes, okay? And my fiance hates it. That's the one team she
I got nothing against the Coyotes.
It's embarrassing, man. But it's embarrassing. What is it? 5,000 people, I think?
It's only embarrassing for the city. Like, the team itself, I don't hate.
I think it's embarrassing for the NHL as a whole. It's a bad look.
Well, especially if Connor Bedard is going there.
There's no ice here.
There shouldn't be hockey in Phoenix.
Why is there a hockey?
Like, there shouldn't be hockey in Phoenix.
Yeah, but you know what? There's no grass, and we still play soccer. So
hold on. One person, I'm going to put them right in center stage here. That person right there's city should not be having hockey if we want to be completely honest here. Las Vegas. Like Las Vegas? How does Las Vegas get hockey? Though I'm not going to lie.
Because the tourist destination. That's the only reason Phoenix has fucking hockey too. Tourist
Now, quick question on that. Since I got like quick little hockey talk here with Ben and Kyle and Chris and we got Sid talking about the Arizona team. Ben, is the love for the Golden Knights still big right now? Like, is it still how it was when the expansion team came in, or is the fan base kind of died down and came to a lull? Like, how is it now?
Well, I think, and here's the thing, guys. Most expansion teams start from the bottom, right?
Yep.
Well, what happened in our first season? We went to
you
the
got lucky?
Finals.
Yeah, you got lucky. That's what happened in your first season.
Well,
I
lucky
wouldn't
enough,
call
we
that
got
luck.
But what I'm trying
Someone
to say,
sounds
though,
salty.
Kyle.
No, wait, hold on. Golden Knights didn't play the Oilers in the playoffs the first year, did they?
No.
Okay, so yeah, why are you salty? They were that. Listen,
I
Not
actually like the Golden Knights. I just want to go on record and say that. I
okay.
do like the Golden Knights.
I loved, like, to what Ben's about to say, I loved that first expansion team brought together because all of them were ready to go kind of thing. And they all kind of got into that locker room and they're like, fucking teams didn't want us, man. They didn't fucking want. They all looked at each other like they're gonna fucking want us now. And if it wasn't for Braden Holtby doing one of the most incredible fucking saves of all time, that momentum was all Vegas. And Ovi to this day would still not have a Stanley Cup and would probably be playing in the KHL right now. But Ben, please tell me what, like, it still is big there.
Yeah, it's still big there, obviously, because it was the first pro team technically to come out there. But what I was going to say is when you start at the top, anytime you don't go above that, the expectation, people are going to get upset because you started out at the top. They think, oh, you should automatically stay at the top. And I think that's where some of that love, starting to die down.
Welcome to being an Oilers fan.
Well, no, but even to add to that, how did you not stay on the top though? Because even the next two seasons, Vegas was in the top 3 spots. So sure, you might have not necessarily been on the top, but you were always contending for a playoff spot since you've become an expansion team.
Well, absolutely. And the thing is, we've gone through numerous head coaches. We're on our 3rd head coach now.
Yeah.
And this is our 6th year. It seems like we're trying to buy a championship. We're trying to just do everything we can to think, okay, it's a Stanley Cup or bust. But in reality, it's not always the case, especially this year, because we got a lot of new players. We had to let a lot of other players go just to meet Jack Eichel's, salary.
Oh my God, yeah.
Which is questionable.
And I think a large part of the issue in Vegas too is like I think it just seems like it maybe it's just on social media, but it just seems like a lot of the fans like really don't understand hockey. So then. Like you said, they started at the top, which is great. They're like, oh, this team wins. So let's go check them out. They win games, but then they don't understand how like hockey works. There's a lot, like generally speaking, there's a lot of turnover in hockey for the most part. Like some of the top teams usually stay top, but there's a lot of changing factors, especially if you're an expansion team who's got a bunch of I won't say nobodies, but
I'll be flat out right now, like even with Sid, like I don't know a lot about hockey. Hockey is the one sport, I'm telling you right now, I almost never bet on hockey just because it's so unpredictable. Like football's somewhat predictable-ish kind of hockey.
Respectively, yes.
Hockey, no. Hockey, like I don't even try and touch. I've played a couple of fantasy leagues in hockey. Telling you flat out, not doing it again.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Hockey's a fucking nightmare, man. I finally got out of mine. It's a nightmare.
To be honest, though, and this is not being biased, anytime that the Red Wings this season are an underdog, just take the spread. Don't take the money line or anything like that, because Detroit's going to be in a lot more games this year. They're not going to win a lot of those games, but they're going to be in those games going to overtime, and that's where you're going to win a lot of money.
Or just save your money and don't bet on hockey. I'm with Kyle on this one.
Okay, fair enough.
Hockey. Just don't bet on hockey. It's ridiculous.
Well, but even with the spread, I was going to say Falcons have covered the spread every game so far.
Well, yeah, and there you go. What I was going to say about the Golden Knights there too. Remember with the Golden Knights, their second season, they had that hype train when they got to the playoffs, and they were 3-0 against San Jose, and then San Jose came back.
And they blew it. Yeah,
and they blew it. And I think that was that's the crash. And I'm not going to do it, but we all know certain teams when they get to the land, when they lose certain games really, really badly, or certain series really, really badly, they don't ever come back. And I'm not.
Well, and another thing, Andrew, is for years we had Marc-Andre Fleury. We caught him, at the tail end of his career.
So good.
And
he played for the Penguins.
Robin Leonard. Because
that boy.
Hey, round of applause.
I contributed. Yeah. He's like, I helped.
I love it.
He showed up for the group project on presentation day.
So good. Hold on. Speaking of so good, I get a couple of these. Where have you been all my life from Ash?
Miss you, Ash.
Sean says, let's go, Kyle. Sid's brother is going, and he's a Pats fan. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
my brother's a Patriots fan. That's why we're going.
Hold the heck on.
Yeah,
how many brothers
bro.
do you have?
Listen.
How many brothers do you have?
Listen. Technically, I mean, okay, that's a long story.
I remember. Okay, yes, I got. Yeah.
Okay, I have six brothers.
Yep.
Wow.
Parents don't have hobbies or what?
Well, 4 of them were adopted. One of them's half. It's a very long story.
Yeah.
I grew up with him mainly, right? So he grew up. My grandparents are from Massachusetts, Boston, Boston area. So they're Patriots fans. Yep. My dad is a Steelers fan. Grew up back east as well, but
Ben's my dad.
Ben's dad.
What? Did you say, Kyle?
He said Ben's my dad.
But
as in you're Kyle's daddy. Yeah.
Son.
My little brother grew up during the Tom Brady era, and Tom Brady, every time he played the Steelers, would beat us. And so he, I mean, as a kid, grew up and just cheered. Hey, he's like, everybody else in the family is cheering for Tom Brady, and they're winning. I'm going to be on their side, not the Steelers side who keeps losing to this asshole. So he's a Patriots fan, unfortunately. Okay. But yeah, that's how that worked.
Okay, so right on. Is his collection of Patriot stuff anywhere close to yours? Or?
No.
Okay.
He's not as big into football as I mean, he's in our fantasy leagues and stuff like that, but he's not.
Okay. Also is one of the cheaper ones in Monday night, so that's fun. Which we kind of were talking about too. I was like, I'm pretty sure Cardinal tickets are still respectively.
I'm pretty sure, like I'm about 95% sure I'm going to the Buffalo and Brown game. Pretty sure.
Oh, interesting.
I'm going to be in Ottawa on November 23rd or 24th, somewhere that weekend. And it's only like a 5-hour drive from Ottawa to Buffalo. So I'm thinking I'm going to do it.
There you go.
I currently own tickets to this Cardinals in Seattle, but my buddy bailed on me to go to that game. So I have no idea if I'm going or not.
Kyle, you have to jump through a table.
You 100% I'll do it. Okay. I hope you know me. Like I literally will do it.
Son, you got to do it.
Hey, I'll do it. I'll tape it too.
Do it for daddy.
Do it for daddy.
You know what? I'll even one up. Since I'm going with my dad, I'll make sure my dad throws me through the table.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
I'm jealous because I should do that.
You should do that. But where are you? You came into my life after you were 19, and you decided that you wanted to be a part of my life.
We can all,
it's Vegas. You know me, man. I go all over the place.
We can all have all the table throwing and stuff you need when we're all in Detroit 2024.
Yeah.
Which, Chris, you need to get ready. Like you need to start thinking of Detroit 2024, dude. Because
I'm in. Let's go.
Are you? Oh, okay. See, the reason why is when you look at it, the draft is one thing. Like obviously, we're going to be having fun at the draft, like parties and stuff like that. But the NHL season comes to a close, so you can catch some end of the season Red Wing games. Baseball, so you can catch it, some of the Tiger games probably, and the Detroit Pistons. So I'm just making sure that I have enough money so that we can all get like one strip of those seats and just go like see some of those games because I
know nothing about basketball. Zero about basketball.
Listen.
So me neither, but I would go to a game. I would go just to say just to be like I went to one.
And you also got to remember, Loosey Goosey, Mr. Loosemore, that's his stomping ground. Loosey Goose. Don't you remember we used to call him that?
I love that name. I love that name.
We used to have talks about going there, and then with this whole Detroit 2024 trip, we joked about it. He's just like, bro, I lived in Windsor, so like, hell's yeah, I'm in there. Like, I'll just go stay on the Canada side if I have to. You know what I mean? But like, Alex is gonna come too, like, and he's probably gonna make sure, like, he wants to see a Pistons game. But I would like it if at least one of our teams, is playing. Like, say if it was the Oilers versus Red Wings, like the second last game of the season.
Oh,
like,
I would die.
Are you kidding me?
I would die.
Or like in basketball, if Seattle does come back or something like that, it'd be like, yeah. So
I do have one question for Ben and Foobs. So is Tampa Bay right now like in the red district looking for a wide receiver? I'm just curious. Like, is that where they are right now?
We wide receivers on tap, dude. We
Oh,
got.
do you? Because I think most of them
Brady
are
has
injured.
the
I'm pretty sure.
directory. He has the
Huh?
directory on the phone. Like, you know.
Yeah, do you?
Let's see. Oh,
Yeah.
he's injured?
Beasley.
Okay, let me call this guy.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
he's not playing this week? Okay, let me call him.
Your
See what he's
Edelman
up
last
to.
week, Edelman was like, Tom didn't even call me. I'm mad about it.
Yeah. and then all these people on social media get mad when the Buccaneers are calling everybody, being like, can you not save any of the players for the rest of the league? It's like they're there though. Cole Beasley's been there. Julio Jones was there. Like, someone go fucking sign them. You know what I mean? Or we'll do it. And which is what we did. So a couple of these comments here, and then I'm going to get everybody out of here because this show went a lot longer than I thought it was actually going to be. And I got kids, and I'm on an overnight shift right now, but like, I mean, not everybody else is.
Yeah,
I got kids.
Kyle to go to bed pretty soon. It's past his bedtime. So
Exactly.
Pardon?
Chris's dog is going to eventually, like, going to want to out and want to see her daddy as well. So a couple comments here.
And milk to drink.
There we go.
Yes, Sean.
Obi, let's go Capitals, and all that hockey knowledge I have. Also, I know the Detroit Red Wings because they throw octopus on the ice, or they used to. And if you do not think that I will be trying to do that when we're there, you are wrong. I will be doing it. And if I don't do it,
pause. At least do it after they cut off the beer. So when they throw us out, it's like, well, whatever.
Okay, that
can't drink
Have you
anymore
seen the show The
anyway.
Boys?
1,000%.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
wait till the
into
third
this.
period.
Don't get us kicked out before they cut off the bar.
No, not
You're
unless.
running into
Listen,
deep off The Boys. I just want you to know that. I'll let you fill in the blanks on that one. If you've seen that show, then you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm not going to do that with no octopus either. That's for sure. But the other thing is, I would definitely wait so that we all didn't get kicked out. That's for one. But if it's a playoff game,
Wait till you hear me and Kyle looking at somebody like, hey, what's that guy looking at? That's when you throw the octopus on the ice. Get us the fuck out of there. What's this guy looking at? Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go now.
Or
This
if
guy's
it's,
looking at me funny.
if it's a game where like the Red Wings have to win it in order to like get to the playoffs or something like that, you know for a fact that like if it's tied at 2-2 going into the third, I'm gonna be that guy with that fucking octopus.
He's
That
gonna get us
octopus
kicked out in the middle of the second overtime, and we're not gonna get to see the finish.
It'd be worth it if they win. I don't even care. Let's go, Sydney Swinton from Sean Spencer. We need the footage of Kyle jumping through
100%.
the table.
100%.
That for sure. Kate lives right near there in Ann Arbor. That is right. I'm like, listen, I might have to park the RV there or something like that because I'm buying an RV this upcoming year. I don't care if it's one that I gotta put a little bit of money into it to make look cool and stuff like that, or if I just gotta buy a brand new one. I'm getting an RV. And
And then you're coming to Big Valley with me.
Well, you're coming to Chasing Summers with me is what's going on.
Oh, that's such a fun
Or
time.
we could do half and half. We could do like, one day at Chasing Summer and then go back to Big Valley. That could work.
That sounds like a good way to die.
Well, yeah. Badass guys, first time listening. Really enjoyed it. It was really good to see you, Brooks George, and thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like and share and follow and subscribe, and you get notifications anytime I go live or anybody else at North Sports Dynasty goes live as well. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. I also want to thank all of the guests that we got here, and I'm going to give them all a chance to get themselves out of here appropriately. So let's start off with Chris. Tell everybody where they can find you, my friend.
Yeah, just Twitter and Twitch at Dubsauce, at DubsauceTTV. Yeah, if you go on my Twitter, you'll see a lot of Cliff Kingsbury hatred.
1,000%. Yeah, thank you for being here, Chris, tonight as well. It was good to see you again. Cal, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you? Because you got a brand new show, don't you?
Oh, I do. So Tuesday nights, 5:30 MST, and that's 7:30 Eastern. We have the NFC South Takeover with Let's Talk Football, giving you all your NFC South news.
Hey, there you go. I'll try to be on.
Very professional.
I'll try to be on this week, but I think I'm still doing overnight. So 2 more weeks.
Daddy Ben?
Hey, Ben.
I'm gonna try, man. Let me see my work schedule. So,
Speaking of Daddy Ben, let's get a little bit of Daddy Ben and tell everybody where they can find you.
I like Daddy Ben. I may change my Twitter handle to Daddy.
Jesus Christ.
So, I'm on every Thursday nights on NFL Edition. Bucks Report at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. I'm 1/4 or 1/6 or 1/7 guest. Who knows? We bring a lot of people on and stuff, but it's a lot of fun. We just talk football, and we're like a fraternity. We're like those drunk guys that just party all night and put the camera on us, and we just go. So check us out, NFL Edition on Bucks Report every Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
And he also does usually go live on Friday just on his Facebook page, like on his private page, and he does talk sports day. I'm sorry that I've kept you on here too long for you to be doing that. My apologies.
No, that's okay. Hey, you know what? I may do it tomorrow night.
Hey, there we go. Speaking of tomorrow night, don't you have a show tomorrow night, Sid, or is that Sunday?
Usually on Sundays. Yeah,
right.
We do the Sunday mornings.
But what do you usually do on Saturday nights there?
Yeah. We do. I am SquidRip's cards. Like he played that intro for me earlier. If you missed it, I do football breaks, football cards. Here, got like a cool one here that I was just showing Andrew. A little Kyle Hamilton RPA, cool little cards, different things like that. Sell football cards, singles, breaks, pull box, bunch of cool stuff. But yeah, I do that on Saturdays. Otherwise, you can catch me on Let's Talk Football, the fantasy football show. Normally is Sundays. We actually are changing that to Tuesday nights. Just works out better for our co-host, David, and my wife. So we're going to be on Tuesdays after Kyle's show and after the roundtable. So we'll be the late night show, giving you the last minute fantasy football advice for waivers and everything that day. That's where I'm at.
Hey, right on. Well, thank you again for being here. Thank all 4 of you guys for being here. Obviously, I had to take a week off because I just couldn't talk. So it was good to have 4 different opinions from 4 different perspectives on all 4 different types of sports, being basketball, baseball, football, hockey. And you Oiler fans are crazy because you guys probably got the cup this year. I'll just admit it now. All right, guys. I'm going to get you all out of here. Thank you all again for being here. Much love, and we'll talk to you again soon, eh?
Take care, guys. Thank you.
All right, let's get them out of here. Thank you guys again for being here. And thank you all for tuning in tonight. This is a lot longer of a show. This is what happens when we have a lot of fun here, right? Got like 4 of the guys here, different opinions, laughs are going. This is some of the shit that we should probably not be. I mean, fuck, it's NSD. That's what I made this platform for anyway. So we can say whatever the hell we want. And we got people who are tuning in and loving it anyway. See, you got new viewers in today. Brooks tuning in. Appreciate you being here. Sean Spencer says Tuesdays are amazing this fall because they're full. And he says, great show, Foobs. Buddy, I appreciate you immensely. Again, if you want to get more football and more sports talk just in general, check out all the peeps at Let's Talk Football on Facebook and on Twitter. And of course, if you want to get more fantasy football, you can go check out what Sid was talking about there. And you can also get a little bit of love here at NSD, which we were supposed to talk a little bit of fantasy. I had to get some of these guys out of here. And I got a guy out of here too, because I got some stuff that I got to be doing here. But we'll get some updates up on tomorrow on the Facebook page. Check that out. And we will talk and we will see you all again then. Much love to all the viewership tonight. Much love to all the people out there in the NSD land. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, especially subscribe and follow NSD on all social media platforms for your chance to win stuff like this Mike Allstott mini helmet signed and authenticated, which will be given away at the end of the year. And we're going to have a lot more things to give away at the end of the year specials. Much love to you all again. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Ciao, ciao for now.